growth. This is why it is serious. There's an estimated 5.4 million Ghanaians who practice open defecation. While the national average is around 18%, there are significant regional disparities, with rates much higher in rural areas, 39% of households in 2022, compared to urban areas where there's 12%. The northern regions are particularly affected, with some districts recording rates over 80%. So what accounts for the open defecation syndrome that we have in this country? First, there are lack of facilities. Insufficient communal and household toilet facilities is a primary reason. Many households simply lack the financial means to construct their own toilets. Then also there's poverty and inequality. The practice is disproportionately high among impoverished households and those with low levels of education who often cannot afford improved sanitation options. But of course, there are consequences. The consequences of open defecation are dire. Let's look at the public health crisis. It is a major public health challenge linked to the spread of diseases such as cholera, typhoid, dysentery. Diarrhea-related deaths are a major concern. Now, particularly among children under 5, okay? Then also there's environmental pollution. Indiscriminate disposal of human waste contaminates water sources and the general environment, posing significant health risk to everyone in the community. Now, if you think about it, think about your dignity as well, because it comes along with loss of dignity, and then there are safety concerns. The lack of private sanitation facilities disproportionately affects women and girls, posing risks to their safety and dignity. All right, so what do we need to do? There should be more political will, okay? And this should lead to increased investment. There should be effective law enforcement on sanitation and innovative financing options for poor households, which are needed, of course, to accelerate progress and achieve the goal of an open defecation-free Ghana. Think about it. Even women, when you go to a public place and you want to use the washroom, and of course I'm adding our young girls, you're concerned because there's a challenge of picking up an infection and all that. How much more open defecation? You get it? And so that's the dignity bit, that's the safety bit. That your dignity covering up as a human being, not showing, or if you like, indiscriminate display of your private parts. Your dignity is at stake. Then your safety. Okay, the risk of contracting an infection while engaging in open defecation is high. So please, the landlords, when you are building, consider a toilet facility in that building. So many facilities, houses in this country that do not have toilet facilities, and that is contributing to the open defecation. It's time that we rise up as a people to fight this. I don't know why in this age, 2025, we should be dying of cholera, diarrhea, dysentery, just name it, because people are, where you say, they'll say koyo, and let me leave it there. Where you will not find open defecation is the Fuwa Sutherland Children's Park, because then we will provide proper toilet facilities for all patrons that will come for the Agri Fair. All right? So we want to see you there from the 28th to the 30th of November as the Agri Fair, November edition, happening at the Fuwa Sutherland Children's Park from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. It's a 3-day fair of fresh farm produce, fresh poultry, fresh livestock, fresh eggs, fresh veggies. Charlie, as for the fish, I'm going to do point and kill. You have to come and join me. We'll do point and kill, and then, we'll marinate that thing and we'll grill it there. So you and I can chop something. But the more important thing is that load up your wallets, stack up your purses, top up your mumu, and come to the Fuwa Sutherland Children's Park. And let's do our Christmas shopping. Let's buy all the veggies, all the cereals, all the tubers, all the meat, all the fish that we need for the Christmas. Because, they say dirty December, burgers are coming. And this is the time that we have to do home cho for the burgers. You see, we have to cook home cho for the burgers. And you need fresh farm produce. So that don't go and say that the Ghana cho some way. You understand? So come and buy fresh produce at the Agri Fair. All you got to do, like I said, is load up your wallet, top up your Momo, stack up your purses, and come. Because there's nothing like gate fee. It is absolutely free for all patrons. But for our farmers, our participants, our agri-input dealers, those with the agri technology, agri innovation, you have to call us to register, okay? You need to register and be part to be able to exhibit or to participate. So call the number 0558 973 973. 0558 973 973. It's important that you call now. And please, when you call, you need to follow up with your payments, because when you register, you would have to pay to secure you a slot. All right, so call, register, pay, and secure a stand or a slot to participate at the Agri Fair. Now, here's the thing. Perhaps you've heard of snail farming and you're wondering how you can go into snail farming. You've thought of poultry production and you're thinking, where do I start? You fancied piggery, but you're not sure how you're going to go about it. Or perhaps you have interest in fish farming. The Agri Fair is providing you an opportunity to learn about all of these. So we're going to have agri clinics at the Agri Fair. The clinics will be 4, and these 4 clinics will touch on these 4 thematic areas: snail farming, poultry production, piggery, as well as fish farming. So if you're interested in any of these, also call us 0558 973 973. Register to be part of the agri clinic at the Agri Fair. All right, so that you can get all the info. Because we're bringing industry experts, people who have been in the practice, the trade, and they have the years of expertise that they can take you through, especially the snail farming, the piggery, the poultry production, and the fish farming. All right, so you need to register for that. Call 0558 973 973. And of course, all the kiddie bums and kiddie bums, you don't have to leave them at home. Bring them along to the First Sutherland Children's Park. We're going to have a kids corner for them so they can also be part of what we call the ultimate Ghanaian agri experience. All right. What we're trying to do is to promote and produce Ghana as well as eat Ghana. So we want to eat what we grow and grow what we eat. All right. I'm sure that makes sense to you. So join us there at the Agri Fair, Ifua Sutherland Children's Park, 28th November to 30th November. All right. Now, the Agri Fair is brought to you by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM, and is sponsored by the Horticulture Business Platform, HBP. You have Development Bank Ghana, DBG, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, LCIC. You have Gersal, and then Ghana Exim Bank, as well as Agri Impact Limited. These are sponsors. I want to say thank you to them. Of course, there's IDH as well. Thank you to IDH. Thank you to Horticulture Business Platform, HBP. Thank you to DBG, that's Development Bank Ghana. And of course, we're saying thank you to Legacy Crop Improvement Center, LCIC. Thank you to Gersal. Thank you to the Ghana Exim Bank. And thank you to Agri Impact Limited. We want to see you there at the Agri Fair, November edition, November 28th to 30th. So 3 days. So November 28th, November 29, November 30, Ifua Sutherland Children's Park, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. And guess what? There will be some entertainment as well. So while you're shopping, you're chewing some sizzling kebab, and you are jamming to some vibes from the Evergreen in Chin Chin Band. You understand? So we want to see you there. All right, join us. It's an ultimate experience, and you should be part of it. This type of experience, you don't need to be told. You got to feel it. You know what I'm saying? So let's see you at the Agri Fair, all right? November 28, 29, and 30th, Ifua Sutherland Children's Park here in Accra. All right, that said, jump on the Google Play Store and download the Channel 1 News app. It is live. It is on the Google Play Store. You can get all the updates, accurate, factual, relevant, timely news from the Channel 1 News app on the Google Play Store. Download it, install now, and of course enjoy. Quite easy to use, quite simple, user-friendly interface, and voila, there you go. You have the news in your palm, literally speaking. All right, let's get into the newspapers now. I'll start off with the Daily Graphic newspaper. I'll assent to anti-gay bill. President pledges as he updates Christian Council on key national issues. I'll assent to anti-gay bill. President pledges updates Christian Council on key national issues. Let's get bill. We'll find time to discuss it. Government declares 6-week gun amnesty. Move is to remove illicit firearms and strengthen control. The Mirror wins National Tourism Award. And then you have widened tax net to close revenue shortfall. PwC urges swift action. Widened tax net to close revenue shortfall. PwC urges swift action. So that's the front page of the Daily Graphic. Let's see if we have some stories on the back page as well. Yes, UDS releases new drought-tolerant cowpea varieties. Good move there. UDS releases new drought-tolerant cowpea varieties. And then you have Bonsa water treatment plant shuts down as illegal miners cause havoc. This matter, it will reach everybody, is all I can say. Bonsa water treatment plant shuts down as illegal miners cause havoc. So that's the Daily Graphic newspaper. All right, let me jump to the Ghanaian Times. What's the Ghanaian Times saying? At CD conference, will uphold BOG's independence. President Mahama speaking there. At CD conference, will uphold BOG's independence. That's according to President Mahama. Surrender unregistered weapons or face prosecution. Interior Minister announces amnesty period. Jospon UN University seal Green Deal at COP30. 5.4 million Ghanaians practice open defecation. Cost nation $79 million annually. Abba Semponi. Hey! Open defecation is costing Ghana $79 million US annually. That's according to a WASH expert. So you see, that's why we should take it serious. Okay, on the back page, Koika grants Ghana $9.5 million to strengthen agribusiness value chain. Koika, that's the Korea International Cooperation Agency, grants Ghana $9.5 million to strengthen agribusiness value chain. Ghana Medical Trust Fund covers all cancer treatment next year. Okay, that's the Mahama case. Wow, that's some good news. Ghana Medical Trust Fund covers all cancer treatment next year. This is according to the Health Minister, Kwabena Minta Akando. Let me take you to the Daily Guide newspaper. I'll sign anti-LGBTQ bill. That's President Mahama speaking. And then you have SML GRA contract, OSP, charges Oforiatta and 7 others. We understand there are about 78 charges preferred against them. Petroleum Act review approved. Petroleum Act review approved. Parliament ratifies ITAS agreement, $10.46 million tax waiver. So this ITAS agreement is between the Ghana Revenue Authority and Tata Consultancy Services. And we understand it's for, of course, to improve our revenue mobilization. And we understand there's some $10.46 million tax waiver in there. Yesterday was the highlight of the debate in Parliament regarding the budget. Ofanko wife beater busted. I know what I cannot say, so you let me leave it at that. But this wife, if she goes to beg for this man, no call for by you. All right, let's go to the Chronicle. The new face of national security, no more intimidating Gota boys. The new face of national security, no more intimidating Gota boys. Gold Board refutes reports of 3 billion CD losses. NPP diaspora executives insist on proxy voting. Asuna Adontain family announces 40-day observance for late Kofi Safo Esiama. And our scripture for today is Proverbs 29, verse 2. When the righteous increase, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people groan. Okay. May the Lord add his blessings to the reading of his word. Let's jump to the Herald newspaper real quick. Herald says, Finance Minister exposes $40 million financial loss under Dominic Netiwu. Finance Minister exposes $40 million financial loss under Dominic Netiwu. Offshore Ken Ofori-Atta going on trial in absentia. But, hey Herald, what is offshore Ken Ofori-Atta? Offshore Ken Ofori-Atta going on trial in absentia, but, so there's a but there. Okaikwe Central MP denies plot to unseat Afenyo Markin. Hey, sir. Okay. Flight risk ex-Bost CEO gets 30 million CD bail. Okay. We know that originally bail was set at 60 million Ghana cedis. It's been reduced to 30 million Ghana cedis. And his lawyers are working at it. They've assured that today, hopefully, he comes out. Margins Group using 35th anniversary to revitalize Kimbu Triangle. So that's the Herald newspaper. Let's take a look at the News Center. The News Center says, CD anchors economy, represents identity, stabilizes markets, restores confidence. That's according to John Dramani Mahama. And then you have margins, Kokma to transform Kimbu Triangle, NPP executives abroad protest proxy vote denial, Ashaiman SHS marks 35 years with call for modern facilities. Ashaiman SHS marks 35 years with call for modern facilities. Jospon UN University seal Green Deal at COP30. Ghanaian publisher says, Jospon UNU partner to drive Africa's climate action. Then you have all eyes on Joe Wise as NPP external officers seek proxy voting. Ghana Link announces ICOM's upgrade. $10 million Tata waiver. God will judge you. Another prayer to finance minister. So that's the Ghanaian publisher. All right, let's look at the Inquisitor. Lightwave contract issues. Health Ministry runs away. Okay. There's Deftraco and the GRA building and how the company is scrambling for another contract. The paper says explosive details soon. Okay, we wait for that. Napo rallies Ghanaians to uphold discipline, and Jinapo hails Tamaklo's leadership style. All right, so that's the Inquisitor. Let's go online. Let's go online real quick. Let's see. Channel1newsonline.com. Lands Ministry probes deaths of galamseyers at Heath Goldfield's Prestia site. Mahama, it's a shame Africans still need visas to visit each other. Ghana Post assures smooth sale of security services recruitment forms. Ayene's defense of heavy bail conditions ridiculous. That's according to Bafo Ewua. He's a member of parliament for, I think he's Menchia South. OSP summons Martin Pebu over claims of enabling Ofori-Atta's exit. Then you have SML petitions Shraj, accuses OSP of bias and personal vendetta. Again, SML scandal, Ofori-Atta not yet served with OSP charges. That's according to lawyer Frank Davis. OSP's prosecution of Ofori-Atta a joke. I don't trust him. That's Martin Pebu, private legal practitioner. Rotation nurses, midwives demand payment of allowances by end of November. Parliament approves a GRA True Dare deal to digitize customs tracking. Iyoko probing former Bost MD over non-existent financial loss. That's according to lawyer of Edwin Provençal. All right, let's go to citynewsroom.com. Citynewsroom.com. Africa rich in resources but poor in global influence. That's according to John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency. Heath Goldfields confirms deaths of 3 galamseyers at Prestia site. Heath Goldfields confirms deaths of 3 galamseyers at Prestia site. Bribery declines, but informal payments still burden businesses. That's according to a Ghana Statistical Service report. bribery declines, but informal payments still burden businesses. Private sector must drive Africa's industrial future. Sir Sam Jonah is speaking there. Private sector must drive Africa's industrial future. ECD will boost monetary sovereignty and cut forex reliance. That's according to the managing director of Ecobank. So it's the Ecobank MD speaking there. Cabinet approves public tribunals bill to fast-track Galamsey prosecutions. Okay. Cabinet approves public tribunals bill to fast-track Galamsey prosecutions. Several Galamseyers trapped in abandoned mine, 4 bodies retrieved. Several Galamseyers trapped in abandoned mine, 4 bodies retrieved. Attorney General defends Iyoko's high... It says Attorney General defends Iyoko's high bail demands in corruption cases. Attorney General defends Iyoko's high bail demands in corruption cases. JRA SML scandal. Kisie Jabain, OSP officials must be sacked. That's according to Martin Kwebu, private legal practitioner. And again, he's here saying that OSP's charges against Oforiatta and former GRA bosses questionable. If you want to know why he's saying that, go online, citynewsroom.com, as well as channel1newsonline.com, and you get all the details there. But stay with us here on Breakfast Daily. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll bring you the news review segment.
Life is a celebration of moments. Big and small.
The sun is scorching, I'm feeling the heat.
With Piva Drink, every moment becomes a refreshing celebration. From the beach to your home, in every corner of your world. Piva Drink at a burst of refreshment.
Give me Piva cocktail and tangerine.
Celebrate every moment with Piva Drink. Refreshment for every occasion. Piva Drink, a taste you will love.
P for Piva.
This advert is FDA approved.
Dear Santa, all I want this holiday
is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
to go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game.
Some giggles.
And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Making and selling. In Africa, too hard? Not anymore.
Afro-quality.
Buy African, build Africa.
Hey, Ghana. So you people know Miss Brother Man Small. If you knew, it's your boy. Kill them all, kill them all. But this time, I'm not only killing mosquitoes, I am killing the greats. See? This wouldn't have been possible if I didn't have the perfect mosquito-free atmosphere. Thank you, Out Insecticide. And yeah, Out Mosquito Coil. For a mosquito-free atmosphere, trust Out to... You are not serious.
Out Insecticide. So ya boa, faha. are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension, just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa, dear. Why wouldn't he be late? Or be later?
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go be the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter why you're lucky. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you put it toy, so would the coming of the son of man be. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, mommy, simple direction. Mr. Good Luck no check me way.
Yeah,
man.
Easy cry. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm a baby.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompts, yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like 7.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, do you have family payment? Before December, maybe release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Hello there. Thank you for choosing us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 TV. I am Nanatufo Boateng. It's time for the news review segment. We want to hear from you on this particular segment and, of course, on all other segments on the show. So send us your thoughts, your contributions, your comments, and, of course, what you make of the discussions that we'll be having here on the show. We're active on social media, very, very active. We're live on Facebook, on YouTube. We're very engaging on X, tweet at us. We're also on IG, Instagram, and you can enjoy some video content from Channel 1 TV on TikTok as well. So we're going to go straight into it. Let me say good morning to the Honorable Member of Parliament for Yendi, the Honorable Abdul Fattah Al-Hassan. Honorable, good morning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good morning, and good morning to your cherished viewers. Great. And good morning to my senior colleague Elvis.
Yeah. So Elvis Dako is also here. He is the editor for the News Center newspaper, newscenter.com, and a proud old student of Ashasek.
Thank you.
Elvis, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning. Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. I see you've captured them on the front page.
Of course, of course.
Indeed.
It was a successful celebration last Saturday.
We thank God.
And thanks to
you had a celebration.
Yeah, thanks to Channel 1. At least we gave it an opportunity to publicize the event, and it went very well.
Great.
We are only appealing that the school needs a lot of infrastructure, and we played with the authorities.
You know, my law firm is around that area.
Oh, is that so? Really?
My law firm is like 2 minutes walk.
Oh, you
the more CSR we
I didn't know we can't for some small funding from you.
Very
well. Shaman is
small world,
hugely populated, but only one public secondary school.
Yeah.
So the school needs a lot of support. And interestingly, what is happening is that they have managed to put up, the assembly managed to put up some girls' dormitory.
Okay.
So now girls are like 500, while boys are like 200.
Oh, wow.
Because when the guys come, because there's no boarding facility, they move. So now because of body fat, it has made a lot of girls now to rather enroll. So we hope that they can give the boys to some dormitories so that the numbers can go up. 800 for Ashama is less, it's small crowd because over 200,000 population in Ashaman, more than 4 or 5 constituencies put together, and there's only one public secondary school. So we urge authorities to look at it critically, that if we say education should be at the doorstep of people.
But the other thing I also say about this, your point, is that most of the people in Ashama don't live within Ashama as a constituency.
Wow.
You understand?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Ashama itself.
Most of them live in Kunkatamansu.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about, no, what I'm referring to the population housing census. Figure for Ashama Municipal Assembly is 208,000.
It's crazy.
208,000. That's the housing and population census for Ashama Municipal Assembly.
Right.
So that one is not about the adjoining communities. So as he said, look at adjoining communities around. And Tema has Chemu, Medas, and Temasco, Presec. And Ashama has only one.
It even has a technical, Tema technical.
Thank you. And Ashama has only one.
There's that too as well.
Thank you. You see, so there's something needs to be done about
Ashama
School.
Let's get into our business for today, and we're starting off from the corridors of the OSP. This SML GRA deal. 78 charges have been slapped on former Finance Minister Ken Furiata and some 6 others, including the former GRA boss. But however, SML has petitioned Shraj. SML has petitioned Shraj to investigate the OSP, citing bias and personal vendetta. I mean, Honorable, this matter has traveled way too long. And so, I don't know how it is turning out. The posturing of the OSP, SML looks like a back and forth. How long does it have to take to bring finality to this matter?
Well, thank you so much. The for finality, I honestly can't answer that question.
No, I get it, but I mean, we're looking at how the thing is playing out.
Especially, you see,
looks like a media spectacle.
Yes, you see, when after court, you can predict things. Especially if you look at this, there are the civil suits in this, and there are the criminal ones.
Yes,
the criminal one started yesterday at least, where we have the OSP going to court and charging, I think 7 plus the company SML. So it's in court, charging them for various infractions, various offenses. That has its leg. Remember, even before then, there was the issue of SML taking OSP to court for unlawful seizure, as they claim, of their equipment. So that is also yet to be dealt with. And trust me, any of these cases can travel as far as 5 years, 4 years, 3 years, 6 years. Especially the civil cases. You see, the civil cases, after criminal cases, you can see that at some point, once the court sitting on the matter makes a judgment, the person will start serving, if the person is found guilty, the person will start serving the sentences. But with the civil cases, if you win, I'll go on appeal. And the civil cases can come with a lot of other applications, of applications. And so, as for this matter, and especially with this, if you look at the charges, 78 charges. It's a tall order, and that means the court has a lot of work to do. It means disclosure. I'm just imagining how the disclosures will even look like. It will be very bulky, and if you look at the way our courts work, if care is not taken, if this case is not given special attention, like they wanted to do with the issue of the current finance minister, what they wanted to do to have to force where they daily trial and all those things. If they don't structure this case like that, I don't foresee this case ending within these 4 years of or even done with 1 year or so. I should even be talking about 3 years. It's not possible that we'll have it concluded. And even at this point where we have two of the parties, even at large, you understand. You see, what happens is that, and there will be extradition processes. What happens is that when you charge somebody for conspiracy, one person cannot conspire to commit an offense by law. One person cannot conspire.
Okay.
It always has to be 2 or more. And if you look at one of the offenses, some of them are conspiracies. Conspiracy. And so you always need the other party to be able to find. So if you are charging myself and Elvis of an offense for conspiracy, and at the end you have only Elvis in your custody, that conspiracy charge cannot sustain it against Elvis, because Elvis cannot conspire with himself. He can only conspire with somebody, that is me. And so once you have not found me, you can't even establish any case against me. So you can't prove that element of conspiracy. You understand? That offense, you can't prove that offense of conspiracy against us. And so to the extent that some are still at large, that will even make proving some of the offenses very difficult until all parties are found. You understand? Otherwise, you have to even defer some of them and move into the others, like the substantive ones. We call some offenses inchoate offenses. So something like conspiracy, to commit attempt, to commit preparation. Those are inchoate offenses. They are offenses that they don't stand on their own. You understand? They are on other offenses, so they are more like incomplete offenses. Such offenses, you always need the people who conspire. You need them all to be able to establish those also. Otherwise, some will be left off the hook. And the OSP, I've been following the drama between OSP and this man to Martin Pebu, and I honestly. It's funny, but I have always maintained that, to me, if you ask me, we don't need the OSP. We don't need the Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Really?
That is my
Why?
Even right from the word go, I've always said that we don't need it. It's just another bureaucracy. Yes. That is. Yesterday, look, I remember when Abna Asare, right?
Yeah,
Abna Asare. When she made her submission on the budget statement, and she concluded by saying that. Remember the proposal to establish the IVMO, the Independent Value for Money Office, the proposal by the Finance Minister to establish that office. She concluded by saying that to her there was no need for us to think of establishing an Independent Value for Money Office because the Finance Ministry already does value for money audit on contracts and all those things. When she finished, I approached her and I told her that, you see, sometimes when we are in opposition, we think some way, and when we are going, we think otherwise. I was telling her the same principle she's especially the issue of the fact that the Finance Ministry is already doing value for money audit. So why do we establish an independent value for money office? I was telling her that the same thing applies. Attorney General, by Article 88 of our Constitution, is already given the power to prosecute all cases, civil or criminal. And so why do you even need the OSP? The same argument. I approach and I told her that. So that line of argument, if we actually don't need IVMO, the Independent Value for Money Office today, because Finance Ministry does the same job, then the same way we do not need the Office of the Special Prosecutor, because by virtue of our Constitution, the Attorney General is mandated. You understand? And even sometimes you can see that even in certain instances, the powers of the OSP is limited. Remember when the issue of the extradition came up? It's only the Attorney General that can file for some of those processes to the other other country, and it has to also rely on documents that will be served it by the OSP. So what is the point in having an institution that can take a matter and only have to get to some stage and then pass it on to its mother institution? You understand? So to me, I feel we still can, if we really mean well, especially when you look at proposals to decouple the Attorney General from the office of the Minister of Justice, so that it doesn't become like an arm of the government. If you look at it, if that really works, and it does work well, we would need nothing like the OSP. To me, if you look at the budget, I don't know, I don't remember the figure, but yesterday I went to the budget statement and I was looking at the figures for OSP, and I was like, ooh. And you see, the funny thing is that we keep look, the OSP has investigators. You understand? On its own. Yoko has investigators on its own.
Police CID
has investigated. And let me tell you, the national security has an investigative unit.
Right.
DNI. NIB now.
And you see, and let me tell you one thing. The other issue is that when one arm is handled, when one of these agencies is handling a case, and at a point it has to be given to another agency, that agency will want to also use its own investigators. So why don't we have this body that has all the investigators under it? At any point in time, we can second any investigator to any of these other bodies to perform a particular role because investigation is investigation. While they are all coming under the arms of the state, we have them as investigators. So, but now if now the OSP now comes to add to the pool of investigators that we have, well, we already have IOCO, BNI or NIB, and then police ID. So we are just creating unnecessary duplications in our systems, and it's just a burden on the purse. So we should look at a way of making our institutions work as they are. We don't need more of those institutions.
Very well. Let me say good morning to the Honorable Isaac Bawamanyako, Member of Parliament for Efia. It's good to have you.
Thank you.
I trust you're doing well.
I'm good.
Great. Awesome. We're discussing the OSP GRA SML due, so let me hear from Elvis and then I'll come to you, Honorable. 78 charges. Most often than not, we'll hear 78, and before the person has the day in court, it's about 3 or 4 charges.
Well, I'm not a lawyer. My senior Kwekubaku will say you apply street law. Street law
or pocket law.
To the issue. Yesterday, I read some few lawyers posting on social media like their comments suggest that it's either the OSP is not ready to prosecute the case or is just going to court for going to court sake because they don't know how he intends to be able to deal with 78 cases and charges, and they believe that this thing will transcend the JM's term and even beyond GS term. They can't even tell when 78 charges, criminal prosecution, where every single thing needs to be proven beyond reasonable doubt. So that's that. I've read some few lawyers express those kind of sentiment. But I see where we are today is what some I expressed here from day one when OSP declared Ken Ofori-Atta wanted. I have said that you can do prosecutions without necessarily the person being in the jurisdiction. Because in the first place, we cannot say Ken Ofori-Atta has run away because his lawyers say they are available to provide any information to the OSP. So we can't even say that Ken Ofori-Atta cannot be found. The fact that it's not the jurisdiction, you can say the person is at large when the person, you can't find him, and his lawyers, he has no lawyers, and the OSP does not have any communication with anything regarding what you want from them. But here's the case, the man said, these are my lawyers, send every correspondence to my lawyer, and their lawyers have written to OSP back and forth. So I have said that this case, you can go to court if you really have the evidence again. Go and make your case and let the judge make pronouncement. If the judge pronounced that Ken Ofori-Atta is guilty, and then you say, okay, because the court has found him guilty, now you want to extradite him to Ghana, then I agree with you. But from beginning, declaring wanted just less than a month after writing a letter to him, and you yourself admitted that even before the letter got to him, the man had left the country. And then less than a month of that action, you declared the person wanted. Back and forth. So the whole this OSP and Ken Ofori-Atta thing, it just looks some way. As I say, I'm not a lawyer, but as a journalist, looking at how I think things can be done and the way the things are being done, I really don't know where we are heading towards with this case. But as I said, the court is the best place. So I'm happy that finally the charges have been filed. Because as I've said, if you take Ofori-Atta out, he is a minister who approves. GRA was the implementing authority. And all those who work with GRA on the SML are in Ghana. None of them has run away. They are all in Ghana, okay? SML itself, its officials, they are all in Ghana. None of them has run away. So I believe that since all people who work on the deal in terms of GRA and SML itself, the company, they have officials around. The minister not being around or the former minister not being around, to me, should not really affect the case in any way. That is how I looked at it. So I believe that going to court is the right thing. But the question, couldn't we have gone to court earlier instead of all the back and forth up to now? So we wait to see how the 78 charges will go. We want to see how the evidence that will be produced in court to back it. Because as I said, his last press conference, the new narrative is that the thing is needless. And by virtue of his conviction that the thing is needless, it means that there was a coalition to loot from the state. So I ask the question, something being needless, does it automatically translate into a crime? If you say this, if you give me a tea, so this tea is needless, does it mean that the person who did the tea has caused financial loss to the state? So being needless and criminal, to me, in simple language, are two different things. something being needless can translate into crime. But something being needless does not automatically become a crime. Does not automatically become a crime. So the last press conference he held, the ending of the statement, the press conference was that looking at the whole SML thing and everything, the whole thing is needless because then NPA is capable of doing it. And I remember my last submission, I've said that as for revenue assurance, everybody has their own view about revenue assurance. Yeah. Everybody, and I gave you the example of from AfriWave and Super Info Solutions in terms of interconnect, and we move from there to Carnegie GVG. Today, Carnegie GVG is doing it. We don't know which company will come tomorrow to come and continue. Many people, including myself, held the view that interconnecting could have been done by NCA. So I could also say that because NCA could do it, it's needless. Doesn't mean that it's criminal. I cannot conclude that. You understand? The same way Haptel will say they should come and collect revenue from ECG. Before Haptel, ECG was collecting its revenue. You understand? Yeah. So it's also a revenue assurance. Doesn't mean that all the money we pay to Haptel because ECG is capable of collecting, and we brought Haptel. We will say that Haptel's work is needless and therefore it's criminal. So I made all this point to expand the view of what a revenue assurance is, and therefore people have views that revenue assurance, they think that it's needless. Others, especially those who have been given power to run the institution, say that they believe that the revenue assurance is important, okay, because at the end of the day, they believe that it is helping them achieve their aim. Yesterday, Parliament just passed the Tata deal yesterday. I had a feeling we were going there. The Tata deal yesterday. ITAS. Revenue mobilization. Right? $10 million waiver. Do you understand it? In addition to the work they are going to do for us. Indeed. But there was somebody doing the work. And there are claims that even when tender was made, it was a local company that but some people muscled the system and gave it to ITAS. All this, our parliament has gone ahead to approve it. So OSP says because of whatever issues people have raised with it, whatever parliament has approved for ITAS to do is unnecessary, and therefore it becomes criminal. So when I heard about his last press conference, he was talking about needless. And I said, well, you can make the point that it's needless. That somebody like me have had my own views about revenue assurance contract. So you can say it's needless. But does it become criminal? So for me, I'm happy that finally a judge is going to look at all the facts that will be presented, and the judge will be able to make a pronouncement on whether something criminal has been done or not. The OSP, you see, as I said, I always say it, the time it was to be established, there was a public forum to discuss it. And Iyoko at that time said, look, Ghana's problem is not investigations. Ghana's problem is prosecution. Every institution finish investigation and ends up at the Ages Department. Ages Department is not paying well. Okay, so lawyers do not want to work at Ages Department, so they lack prosecutors. Okay, so there are tons of files there. So they believe that if Ghana wants to fight corruption, it's not about an eye investigating, but the OSP can be put together as an office for prosecutions, so that instead of piling all the files in the office of the AG, a lot of the files will now go to OSP, and all they will be doing is to do the prosecutions. The MPP people at the time insulted them that it is their political promise. They cannot come and tell them how to go about it. In fact, your officials were insulted very well in this country for making that proposal. Today, we are all agreeing that running away from a problem doesn't fix it. The problem we had was that we are not having enough people, investigators and prosecutors. So instead of empowering the Ages Department by giving better conditions of service, do you know what we have done? We have rather given the OSP better condition of service than the AG's office. Check the budgets and check the ranking they put OSP officials. They earn more than people who work at the Ages Department. But how many people do they have? So you see, I always say that in this country, when we have one problem, instead of us finding out what is the cause, okay, we look at the symptoms and then we rush to go and address the symptoms when the cause of the problem has not been addressed. So people calling for the closure of OSP is because when you look at the evidence on the surface of it, that almost 7 years of establishment, okay, what really is the achievement of the OSP in terms of prosecutions in this country? Then you say that You don't think that it should exist anymore. So you see, this is why I always say that when we want to do things, let's find out the cause. Let's address the cause. Then we will be fine. But when we are addressing symptoms, we will continue to create more institutions that will still come back to good and nothing. Today, public procurement that we say we are bringing in, because we say when Minister of Finance to buy something, somebody at the procurement there will make 200 Ghana on top of the amount. Okay, so let's create a procurement authority who will have value for money. I can tell you that procurement authority is costing this state government more money than if you allow the public institute to do procurement.
Right.
Because this water that is here, if it was a Minister of Finance department that's procured, they may say, oh, this water is 3 cedis, let's make it 5. But when you go to procurement, you can cost this water for 20 cedis. And so long as public procurement approves, Ghana will buy this water for 20 cedis. And then we say because public procurement approves it, it is value for money. This is what we have done by creating public procurement authority. This is what is costing Ghana more money than when we didn't have the public procurement authority. Right. Instead of us saying that what safeguards can we put there for the various procurement units in the institutions to do their own procurement, but we can make sure that today's age, and it as a company A, you say you are buying, I can even send a mail and say, how much is this thing? So it is something that easy can be done. But we say create more institutions. And that is where we are. So for me, this SML thing, I hope and pray that the 78 charges will drop down very soon so that we can really focus on anything that is really criminal or suspected to be criminal to be there. But all the 78 are something that we are going to go through. As I said, I'm not a lawyer. But the lawyers who know what goes on in court have said that, have written on social media that then in this case, we should just be looking beyond JM's term, and even after JM's term, they don't know how soon that case will end. And as Fatah said, see, I made that point here over and over and over that in terms of high-profile corruption cases, you shouldn't treat them like normal cases. I've said that the CJ and president and whoever should sit and say, look, no high-profile corruption case spend more than 1 year in a particular court. Because you start from the high court, and after 1 year pronouncement is made and whoever is not happy can go to appeals court for another 1 year. If you are not happy, you can go to the Supreme Court 1 year. But situation where a case spends about 3 years, 4 years in one court, and then move to the next, how do you expect us to trust the justice delivery system if cases can take this long in just one court?
Right.
So there's a lot we need to do about high-profile corruption cases, and let's leave the circuit court and court to be dealing with the goat thieves and the rest on their own merit, rather than blocking all these cases. High court, somebody stealing goat is there, somebody who has stolen billions is there. All kinds of cases are being. I don't think that we are sending the real signal, that we want to deal with corruption in terms of how the legal systems work and the kind of investigations and prosecutions we are doing.
Right. Thank you. Let me hear from Honorable Buama on if you like the twist to the matter. The OSP is charging individuals and a company. The company in turn is filing cases against the OSP. Where are we going with this fight?
All right. Thank you very much, Nana, and a very good morning to our cherished viewers. And to the good people of Ifian constituency, I want to say good morning to them. My brother Fatah and Elvis, and to everybody. I've just been thinking through since yesterday the statements from the Office of the Special Prosecutor connected to the SML charges that he is preferring. And this has been a long-standing conversation. So listening to Fatah and Elvis, I wouldn't want to even go too much as to the relevance as of today of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. I've said it on the floor of Parliament, that looking at the resources that we've given to the OSP over time and the deliverables that it has shown over the time under consideration, there is very little to convince me that the office, not the person, that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has to be relooked. And it has to be done as quickly as possible. The AG knows that they have to take an action on the Office of the Special Prosecutor. You see, the Special Prosecutor is struggling to find relevance. All that it is doing is a struggle to find relevance. It has realized that over the years, he's never been able to prosecute any relevant case to the end. that benefits the good people of Ghana. He comes up with stories, he makes news, does press conferences, proceeds to charge people, and at the end of the day, he has very little to show. Ask the office of the special prosecutor and the special prosecutor. Since he became special prosecutor till date, how much money has he received in his office? And what has been, you see, the office of the special prosecutor is supposed to deal with corruption and corruption-related cases.
Yes.
Corruption and corruption-related cases. And we brought up this corruption component to the special prosecutor because we felt that the office of the Attorney General is inundated with so many litigation matters, day-to-day matters, because it is politically created, as in the Attorney General being an appointee of government and unable to deal with its own people. Let us create this office to focus on corruption and corruption-related matters. What is supposed to be the outcome of corruption-related matters? One, it is supposed to properly prosecute cases, give us the judicial decisions that is going to guide the conduct of people over time. And then also to put some level of fear or caution in the lives of public officials, that when you deal in matters of corruption, the special prosecutor will come after you, will read cases against you, so you become careful in the things you do. The special prosecutor has become an octopus, just struggling to find its feet wherever it noses or gets issues that he thinks it's corruption-related matters. And then he goes into the matters. One, he conducts investigations. Nobody even is able to understand the quality of investigation, because your
investigations take time.
No, even the conclusive ones. Nobody, you cannot conclude a matter, go to court, spend taxpayers' money, and come back with nothing. That is not how lawyers are trained. If you know you don't have a case, don't even push it to the court of law. These 78 charges that he's talking about, I have not seen them. I've read the preamble around it, and it's funny. Like Elvis just gave us the I wouldn't say street, but the common sense end to what the special prosecutor. Why didn't he provide us all the 70? Of course, we are going to see it in a matter of days. But if you look at where he's winding from, he's trying to play with the sentiments of people. And at the end of the day, move us into courts, like just to say that I've investigated the OSP and I've investigated SML, and me, they have taken my case to court, and when he doesn't get the judgment, he comes and blames the court. But what is the quality of cases that you are presenting? It's so funny. I know virtually all the individuals that he has brought, that he has charged. Okay, the Commissioner General from Kufinti to Ameshadai, and I'm wondering to what end. I don't want to go into let's get to the charges. To what end? What did they do in this matter that the OSP is convinced that they conducted themselves in a manner that is corruption or corruption related? If you want Kenuforiata to prosecute, go and look for other matters that you think you have basis to go and attack Kenuforiata.
The OSP says the evidence gathered by his office points to criminal conduct by some officials during the negotiation, approval and implementation of the contract.
Can you imagine? So it doesn't make sense. Just simply put, let's wait for him to prefer the charges against each and every individual. We will look at the weight in it. The people who have a thing in court, let them go and defend themselves. But the nutshell of what I'm putting across is that the special prosecutor is just trying to find relevance for himself today. Now it is no more about the office, but the individual. It is about the individual. The individual have proven incompetence. Simplicity. Wow. The office, the special prosecutor, since he became special prosecutor, how many years now? Over 5 years. I raised it on the floor of Parliament. Yes, after Matamidu. I raised it on the floor of Parliament. He should give us all the cases that he had investigated. He should give us all the cases that he has completed investigation. All the ones that he saw corruption-related indices around them. all the ones that he has taken to court. And what has been a success rate? Less than 10%.
I think all of this information is available on the website of the office.
Please pull it out, not now, any other time, and do that analysis and send it to the special prosecutor. And so he's brought in SML as one of the additional cases that he wants to find relevance in. We wish him well in the court. Let him go and prosecute the people. Let's see what comes out. But again, as Elvis said, 78 charges in today's criminal jurisprudence. Why? 78 charges.
It will take forever.
Oh, it is not even about. It's interesting. It's interesting. I don't want to bore myself with. Let's wait and see all the 78 so-called charges that he's brought against those individuals. But I appeal to the president and the attorney general. You see, let's be bold and confront a review. A review. You see, they raised issues about the salary and the compensation for officers of the Special Prosecutor's Office. You know, the Special Prosecutor is put equivalent to Court of Appeal judge.
Yeah.
The benefits and compensation for the Special Prosecutor is equivalent to that of the Court of Appeal judge. In fact, his investigators, their salary compensation and benefits are equivalent to commissioners of police. Commissioners of police.
The highest rank in the police apart from IGP.
That is the investigators and directors of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So if, and last year's budget, which is the 2025 year's budget, OSP was given in excess of 150 million. 150 million. In fact, the office that the OSP is supposed to operate from, when you are entering there, it's as if you are entering into another presidential office. Security, so many things, and the state is bearing these costs. And then you have the investigative department of the Ghana Police Service, CID. You go there, go and look at the conditions they work from. You get Iyokukra there, I would say they are a bit better in terms of their facility, but go and check their compensation. And so we have given so much, and it's all because in the minds of the good people of Ghana, we believe that let us give the OSP's office everything that it will require to give us some deliverables. And I'm saying that let's evaluate the president, the attorney general, as a matter of urgency, should constitute a team or a committee to review the office of the special prosecutor and come back with a policy position as to where we should go. Listen, this parliament yesterday, beyond the ITAS, we also approved a company called True There,
yes,
to come and
also
give us Pelican. So what are they coming to do? They said they are also coming to do revenue assurance work with ICOMS. What is ICOMS supposed to do?
Revenue
assurance.
Everything that we said Pelican is coming to do is already embedded in ICOMS system. Yet the minister is not satisfied that ICOMS can do, not that can do, but for whatever reason, they are bringing on Pelican. So tomorrow, this is even in the same GRU. In the case of SML, we are talking about its work being conducted by another state agency, MPA. But in the case of True There Pelican solution, the work is supposed to be an ICOMS functionality. We've paid ICOMS, and the minister is telling us that it's going to take a portion of the payment that we give to ICOMS to go and pay Pelican.
Thank you.
So this country.
But I forgot that we're taking a payment from
Ghana
GCNet to pay West Blue.
Ghana Community.
He has worked at GRA, so he knows the inside of revenue assurance at GRA.
Ghana Community Network, West Blue, ICOMS. Now we got Pelican.
You understand?
There are others along the chain. There are others inside the chain.
And the agents are crying. Yesterday we had calls that ICOMS has been down for how long?
No, yesterday there was a problem with the platform. It got code flare that the platform is bullshit. So major websites across the world had problems.
The issue is that instead of spending time and resource to equip and to allow them to meet their contractual terms.
We are hiving off part of their work for others so that others can also make some more money.
Once the system is there.
And how are we even paying them? Are we paying them a percentage of the total revenue collected?
That is what I was thinking. A percentage of total
revenue assurance contracts are like that. I've told you
of revenue collected.
So if the institution, say GRA, is already collecting 10 million a month, you bring this Pelican and all they're able to add on is about 2 million. Are we paying them on a percentage of the 12 million or the 10 million?
The 12 million. Yes. You understand? you understand? And so I sit here. If you want to tell me SML, it could have been better managed. Maybe in terms of the financing arrangement, it could have been better. So normally when you have contracts, like the finance minister said with the Tata, somebody signed it at 55 million. You've seen a need that, no, let me still go and renegotiate it down. So after renegotiating down, he saved the country, what, 9 million? 9 million. Would you say that the person that negotiated at 55 million negotiated that for his benefit?
What evidence do you have to prove?
What is evidence?
You can't prove it.
Exactly. But somebody has been able to, and all of these happen normally when you have a change of government, because the company feels that this government has come, they want to, if you are not careful, they may even want to abrogate the contract and so on. Right. So we should strengthen our institute. He talked about procurement. Procurement mess. The establishment of procurement authority, the mess that it has caused that in terms of inflated prices is worse than you can ever contemplate. Who has looked at what is happening at procurement to strengthen it? Now you are coming with value for money. To duplicate and to complicate, now even before you get something from the ministry, you need to get authorization letter. How do you call it? Commencement letter. Now, beyond commencement letter, you are coming to add again value for money. So when would the ministries and departments and agencies get their releases to even do their work? And that is why, as of today, almost all the government agencies having received what is required to do the work and bring the needed development that we want to see.
Very well. Let me take a few quick messages and then we'll move into the AG's defense of the bill conditions. I commend the OSP for now recognizing the rule of law and acting accordingly. My concern is how can the office present 78 charges in court if it truly has a concrete, solid case? Will the OSP, Kisi Jabe, resort to betting in the legal arena to improve his chances of winning? I suspect that by the time this case concludes, his tenure prescribed by law will have ended. This is Amino from Nsawam. Our Reverend Ministers got the opportunity to meet the President. They were not concerned about the teeming youth without jobs and how to get their jobless congregants to take advantage of the Nkokon Ketingeti and other programs of government to do better or to better the lives of its members. Instead, they were talking about the National Cathedral. Church halls are gradually getting empty and they've not asked why. This is Patrick from Accra. Good morning. I am Eben in Kwabenya. Ghana is in good hands, so our city is strong compared to what we witnessed under bad governance of the SWAL administration. Thanks to JDM for warning his appointees to refrain from scandals because he wouldn't shield anyone of wrongdoing. Okay. Good morning. I am Ukai from Bantama in the Sene West District. All what the NDC wanted was power, and they got it. Now the NDC government is taking the innocent citizens for granted with all their supermajority. President Mahama played around words today by talking about possible amendments and being against gay marriage. The current bill that was sent to Nanado was more than gay marriage, and there's a difference between gay marriage and gay rights. The bill is as even criminalizes free speech in a manner. If this bill is signed, it will be interesting. This one says, good morning, and now looking at the way the special prosecutor and the attorney general are behaving, if care is not taken, they will mess up and lose so many of their cases. The media prosecution is too much. Ahmed from Nima says so. Good morning, Anatufo and Honorable Isaac Boama. This is Abdul Ganiu Mankarigu from the Savannah region. We are wasting taxpayers' money on the OSP, yet the office has delivered nothing meaningful for the country. Since 2021, I haven't heard of a single major case they've won. At this point, the office should be scrapped. Imagine filing 78 charges against someone and still losing it. Even the GRA has confirmed that SML rendered services for the payments they received. That alone says it all. All right, let's go back to Parliament. Yesterday, you were on the floor. You were in the chamber.
Briefly. ITAS was approved. My friend Samuel Duona, who has been writing against ITAS, petitioned OSP to investigate ITAS.
He's asking if the former commissioner is untouchable.
Now, we have never had any response from OSP. Now, ITAS has been approved. Is OSP going to say that if any money is paid to ITAS, as approved by Parliament, it will be criminal? Because somebody has a petition that he thinks that the deal, there's something wrong with it. Nobody. One of the arguments is that the SML saw several approvals. And that is for the third attempt before it was approved. In those who have been prosecuted, is there anybody from the PPA? If you say they rejected approval, but the subsequent approval later, you think that somebody forced somebody to approve it. Who in the PPA did the wrong thing by approving the deal? Is there anybody from PPA be prosecuted? So you see, when you look at the whole thing, see, the OSP, sometimes I sympathize with the OSP. Because when you are investigating corruption, corruption is a very complex web of issues. So you need a lot of experience investigators. You need a lot of people. The OSP really doesn't have a lot of investigators. So the struggling to get cases done is something I expect. If he was not doing the press conferences, like the sympathy people have for them will be okay. But it's because of the way he's doing the press conference. People now no longer ask even how many investigators that the OSP has. Okay, so we are all saying that you came to say this, so then prove it. Instead of looking at what is the human resource capacity of the OSP compared to the police, DNI, or UCO and the rest. So you realize that instead of them admitting that they have deficit in terms of the human resource in the area of investigations, the fact that they come out and say this person had done this, the people forget about the fact that they don't even have the needed staff to be able to do a good work. One corruption case, to get everything you need, it will take you a longer period of time. You understand? So if he had managed his media issues well and not be out there always accusing people, probably people will have sympathy for them. But because of the way they are out there shouting, that's what people have done them. You came to tell us they want to extradite Oforiatta. Now when you are pressed to ask, when are you extraditing? Now you say, oh, that one, it hinges on the U.S. authorities. Is he not aware that when you apply for extradition, the other country will decide whether to extradite the person or not? But all these things, you came to give the people hope that you are extraditing Oforiatta to Ghana. And then when you are pressed to, when are you filing? When is the president going to government? Now you are telling us that you can file the U.S. authority can ignore you and the man will not be extradited. And so see,
even that was convicted.
You understand?
Yesterday, when the AG came to the office and the question was filed to him, he said that he has even sent a reminder to the DOJ.
Exactly.
The Department of Justice.
So they have still not got
So these are the reasons I have always been cautioning these agencies that limit your media appearances. Focus on the work. Because see, I've said that if we are not careful, the way they are running to the media, if they go to court and they start losing cases, the potential impact on the judiciary will be dangerous. Because then the impression will be created that whatever information AG or OSP has put out there, people would have made up their mind that these people are already guilty. And if they go to court and then by evidence it's proven that they are not guilty, the potential for people to say that the judges are the ones who are freeing the people is high. And then we would discredit the judicial system, and it comes to affect all of us. That's why I've always been cautioning that they should limit their media appearances. Focus on the way. When you win a victory in court, do 1 month press conference. I will always applaud you. But pre-case media press conferences, if they are not careful, the entire system is going to come to a point where nobody wants to trust it anymore. Because you have come to put up so much information that paints the picture as if people are already guilty before going to the court.
Right. You mentioned the PPA in the SML thing. I'm wondering if the Central Tender Review Committee, anyone from there has even been called.
So that's why this case I'm saying that is it a lot of issues.
Because we're moving to a different subject, I didn't want to go there. But you see, with the issue you have just raised regarding whether there's anybody from the PPA, you see, because he's not a lawyer, I can forgive you. But you see, sometimes you may even have, for instance, if you have a number of people to charge, you can look at them and see that, okay, this man is equally liable for this offense, per my view. But I am better off using him as a prosecution witness. So if I have someone from PPA who can provide evidence, who can support my case in respect of an element, some of the charges, even though he equally could be standing. You remember the Wontumi
exactly.
issue?
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
The AG or the OSP will weigh his options. I am better off if I use him as a witness. I can even get 3-4 other people convicted through him.
Yeah.
And let him go scot-free. Right. But if you add him as an accused person, he will not even come to your aid. Right. He will support you in prosecuting your case. So those are some of the things that are considered by the Attorney General in terms of legal prosecutions.
Very well. Honorable, let's look at the AG's defense of the recent bail conditions being set by investigative bodies. And he says that he doesn't think any of the agencies are acting arbitrarily. He thinks nothing untoward has been done.
Yes, thank you. I think this is a fallout of recent incidents where IOCU had arrested people for investigation purposes, and because of our legal regime, which makes one to be presented before a court within 48 hours after his arrest, IOCU, in trying to continue with its investigations, may want to grant the person bail pending sending the person to court. And these bail conditions that we were hearing from IOCU, right from the Wontumi case to the Hanans and the rest, people felt like they were outrageous. Bring sureties to the tune of over 100 million and 80 million and 50 million, and you wonder
800 million.
You wonder
800 was set by a court.
Yeah,
that's a court.
You know, and you're wondering, how do you expect someone who is being investigated to provide all of these bail conditions, meet all of these bail conditions before? And so the person who asked the question sought to get the Attorney General's view whether these conditions can be reviewed or revised to allow people, because the legal understanding of bail is trying to put some conditions on the person just to allow the person to appear before the court for trial. Because at that point, the person has not been convicted. True. The trial is at court. Investigations is supposed to be conducted and to ensure that the person is available when needed for investigation purposes and also for trial. And so bail conditions are not intended to be punitive, you know, to be used as a condition to keep someone still behind cells for investigative purposes. But then there's always a challenge in terms of whether those who are making those bail conditions do them in good faith, whether they set the bail conditions based on the facts that are available to them, which is what should be, or because when we have interest or we think that these people, because of their stature in society or because of their political inclination, we need to show them where power lies. So you set outrageous bail conditions and then you get it out there. And so that has been the feeling of some group of people. And I think the AG, in his response, just provided us the legal position, which is that, of course, they don't just set it arbitrary. They set it based on what is the case at hand, the sum involved in the matter, and then also the risk associated with the person involved. And so if you even set those conditions and you are uncomfortable or your lawyers think that they are so high, you have the option of also going to court for the court to revise those bail conditions like we saw in other instances. But my interest in this matter, post the AG's review, is for us to find out or to ensure that we have well professional and trained officers at our investigative ends, the IOCU and the rest. And you realize that many a times when these individuals who have been arrested are released, they all commend the investigative authorities like the IOCU for the way they conducted themselves. There have been time past where when you are arrested in these places, the conditions upon which they put you through are inhumane, and people question it and they are worried. But it appears that now there's been quite some improvement in the way people are treated. Only that in the public space, you don't understand why my friend should be arrested and for 24 hours or 48 hours, we don't know where he is. You hear today he's at today's cells, the next day he's been moved here. But they are all part of the security architecture in order not for people to also interfere with investigations and so on and so on. So my interest and my concern is for us to have a well-resourced, trained investigation officers like the IOCO, like the NIB, and so on and so forth, so that when they are setting these conditions, all of us would agree that it conforms to common sense. It conforms to the legal requirements that they are operating under. And then we don't, because see, again, you realize that if not for biases, when it comes to another individual that is not of a kind, the way they are treated appears to be quite different from when it is against someone that is perceived to be on another political coloring. And I think these are the areas where those investigative bodies, whether it is the police, whether it is IOCO, whether it is NIB, they should be seen to be acting fairly across the divide, irrespective of the person's gender, political, or any other consideration. And I think from the AG responses yesterday, even post-state, we had some conversations where I know the AG is still in talks with, because they all report to the Attorney General. The AG is in talks with them to ensure that when they set these bail conditions, they actually look at it fairly in order not to be seen as a disenfranchising.
I think he's had cause to intervene in one of the cases recently.
That is so.
No, he didn't intervene. He was reported, the reporter, but he didn't. They didn't tell he didn't intervene in anything.
They do behind the scenes.
Very well. We need to take a break here. Let me take a few quick messages. We'll go on a break, come back, and then we'll hear from the rest of my guests. Nana, good morning. It's clear the OSP doesn't want to be removed by the president, so he will continue to slap charges till 2028. Good morning, Channel 1. Please greet my MP, Lawyer Abuama, for me, and please tell him that his ideas are always on point. It's from, is it Ajingo in a Fia constituency? Well, keep your messages coming in. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the conversations.
Is clean, fresh and safe. I'm holding my Verna bottle. No plastic seal, no worries. Open and hear the sound like click. That sound means it's fresh, no trick. No plastic seal, but it's still pure. Cool and clean, you can be sure. Verna leads the brighter way. What takes my doubt away? If it clicks, it's Verna. If it clicks, it's clean. Sip it, feel the difference. Verna water, pure and green. No stress, just sip. Chale Verna, no stress, just sip.
This advert is FDA approved.
The National Petroleum Authority hereby cautions persons engaged in illicit storage and trading of petroleum products to comply with the regulatory requirements to operate in the downstream petroleum industry. The NPA Act clearly stipulates that no individual shall engage in any commercial activity related to the importation, exportation, re-exportation, shipment, transportation, processing, refining, storage, distribution, marketing, or sale of petroleum products in the downstream industry without first obtaining a license from the NPA board. Failure to secure the necessary license and properly regularize operations will result in confiscation of petroleum products, prosecution under the law, and decommissioning of facility. For more information, contact the National Petroleum Authority on 0302 550 380. You can also visit our head office located at Jolu off the N1 highway or any of our regional offices.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the winner, President and Chair of the Board of the Trade Finance Bank of Africa, Afri-Exim Bank, Professor Benedict O. Rama.
In navigating financial challenges in our region for sustainable development, when we look at challenges, we also know that challenge is one side of a coin. You have challenges, we also have opportunities. And that is why Afri-Exim Bank has grown the fastest in times of crisis.
I also thank organizers for considering me worthy of this prestigious award, which I will cherish all through my life.
The Africa Prosperity Champions Awards APCA and Presidential Gala Dinner unites visionaries from heads of state, business leaders, social change makers to innovators to celebrate African excellence in order to encourage a new generation of leaders. More than an awards ceremony, this event declares that Africa's narrative is one of triumph and prosperity. We celebrate a new story where African solutions guide us forward. Each honor exemplifies the vast potential of our continent. The fourth edition of the Africa Prosperity Champions Awards and Presidential Gala Dinner takes place on February 6, 2026 at the Kempinski Gold Coast Hotel in Accra, Ghana. To attend, you may contact +233 536 098325 or send an email to protocol@africaprosperity.network. You may also visit africaprosperitynetwork.com for your tickets now.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. This is Breakfast Daily here on Channel 1 Television. We're having a conversation regarding recent bail conditions as set by investigative bodies under the Office of the Attorney General and the defense or justification by the AG yesterday on the floor of Parliament. Send us your thoughts and your comments, your contributions to the show, and we'll do our best to read them out. Elvis, let me pick your thoughts on the AG's position on the bail conditions. We've seen bail conditions in the past, and the recent ones have sparked some concern, especially owing to the fact that some persons have been presented to the courts, and we've seen the kind of bail conditions that were slapped on them. Others have, if you like, before being sent to the court, are with the investigative bodies, and we've seen the kind of bail conditions that have been set on them that keeps them in detention. So this position of the AG, your quick thoughts on it?
Well, for me, I've said it. I say bail conditions are law prescribed, but I think there's so much abuse in the system, and I think that there can be some structured process of dealing with it. We think we need to do it because see, it all erode confidence in the system. Because if the perception is that this person's bail condition is this because it belongs to party A or party B, it makes people don't trust the system. So you can have a structured system where we know that if you have the money is between 1 to 10 million, your bail condition should be this. If it's 10 to 20 million, it should be that. So that we actually are able to know that this is what is in.
So there's a structured format.
Exactly. But when that power is in the hands of the judge, and the judge now gives all kinds of things, and we are not talking about it. It's problematic.
So you think it should not be left to the discretion of the judge or the investigative body?
Example, especially look at the CJ's vetting. When he was asked about Atai's judgment, and he said he did that. Afraid. So it's a personal description. It's not what the law prescribes. But it's now a CJ. How do you expect the people who listen to the CJ giving that answer to feel about the judicial system. It means that judges can do things based on their personal preferences.
But still within the remit of the law.
Which remit of the law? What he said is not within the remit of the law. The remit of the law says...
the sentence, the law permits that he said...
No, that's what I'm saying. That
whether he gives the maximum or the minimum is discretionary.
That's what I'm saying. That I would prefer that we have a structured system that makes sure that these discretions are limited. Okay? Because it is creating a deficit for the judicial system. That's how I see it.
You see, based on the discretion, if there's going to be a sentencing within a certain period and there's a crime that is not prevalent, the sentencing might be different from a time where a particular crime is very, very pervasive.
That is where that's where you create the problem. See, discretion always comes with some form of discredit. Okay? Because the person exercises the discretion may do it based on personal preference. And that may create a problem for the system. That's what I'm saying. So for me, if there's a structured system, look, you said that the person is accused, okay? Yeah. And the law says that the person is presumed innocent until proven guilty. But if you look at the bail condition is either saying that you are guilty until you prove that you are not guilty. Because the bail condition said that since you are accused of stealing 100 million, your bail condition is 100 million. That means that per the bail condition, you are assumed to have stolen the money. So we are trying to protect the money. And until you prove that you are not the one who stole the money, they will remove that bail condition. So for the law to say you are presumed innocent until proven guilty. But the bail condition in my mind is saying that you are rather guilty and that we are preserving what you have stolen until the law says otherwise. I see it as a contradiction. Do you understand it? That is the way I'm looking at it. So I'm saying that if we can say somebody stole 1 to 10 million, the bail condition should be this, 10 to 20 million, so that we have specific amounts, okay? Because I believe that some of these people, I don't know how they are going to run away. I don't know how anybody will assume that these people are going to run away from the country. Because some of them have huge investments in this country, that even if they run away, their investment will be enough to actually offset whatever amount we think the state has lost, if at the end of the day, indeed, they are found guilty. You understand it? So for me, I think that we have to look at it critically and look at how we exercise this so-called bail condition. Because when I think about it, I'm saying that the bail condition says you are guilty, you stole the money. We are preserving the money so that in case you are found guilty, the state doesn't lose the money. But our law also says you are presumed innocent until you are proven guilty. So I see a disparity between bail conditions and what the law says. So for me, I believe that we should rather, now that technology is available, we should rather look at situations where these people, if we feel that they have any threat to run, you keep their passport, but we say our system is not foolproof. What about surveillance? What about house arrest? What about other options that will make sure that the person doesn't run away from justice? I think that we have to look at it, because I don't know how, if I have really not stolen the money, and you are asking me to bring 30 million. I don't know how I'm going to get that. And I don't know, the family I'm from, nobody even can give a bail condition of 500,000.
Who will go to parliament to
I can't even get 500,000. 500,000. Nobody in my family can get 500,000. I don't have any friend who can even get 500,000 bail conditions for me. So if tomorrow I'm accused of something and I'm given a bail condition of 20 million, maybe I will remain in the cell until the trial is over. You know, I found it difficult to get it. Yeah. Do you understand it? When student loan, when it was required that you provide somebody who is a guarantor who contributes to SNIT, that condition alone made many people not to be able to get guarantees. Yeah. Because in the entire family, nobody is even working in an agency that is paying SNIT. So many people qualify to go to school because of money. They can't find somebody who is a SNIT contributor to actually endorse their until we have decided that we have to reverse it. So you see, some of these things, when we look at our country very well, we should also take certain things in consideration. Because then I was sleeping in the police. When I saw the national service, I said, oh, this man will go to the whole trial in the police cell. You should forget about it. Because for 800 million Ghana, who is going to give me 800 million Ghana to this as guarantee? It's crazy. Do you understand it? So let's be realistic about some of these things so that people can have confidence and say, oh, this is what you will get as a bail condition for this amount. And then the cases go back. My brother, when I hear some of the figures, I say, okay, maybe I'm from a poor family, that's why I don't understand. But me, nobody in my family can get 500,000. I'm telling you, nobody in my family can get 500,000. If I'm arrested for anything, my bail condition is 500,000 Ghana cedis. And I don't know which friend I'm going to call who also want to give 500,000. There's not none.
We'll use bill contractors.
There's none.
We'll use bill contractors.
The bill contractor, you have to pay him. You have to pay him to get. So you see, please, it's a country we are building. We are all Ghanaians. If the person stole money, at the end of the day, put the person, the law taker. If the person has not stolen money, let the person work free. But if between the process of determining whether the person is guilty or not, the person is taken to a certain process, by the time the process ends, the person is not even guilty. Process that you took the person out actually deteriorated the person's life and everything. It's also not the best. So I hope that we can do something about bail conditions. But what we have now, I think that some judges are arbitrarily abusing the process. And I think that it's about time we put some limits on those abuses. That is the way I look at it.
Honorable, the AG wears two hats. As AG, Chief State Prosecutor, but as Minister of Justice, at all times, he should ensure that justice is done. So on this matter of bail conditions, is he not in a difficult position?
Yeah, thanks so much. I think the matter that came up in Parliament was more to do with the EOCO or other investigative agencies' bail conditions and not so much to do with courts.
Yeah.
But you see, for bail conditions, largely is discretionary. And so if you look at the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act, Act 30, specifically Article 96(4), it gives the requirements, the factors that any judge will consider. And these investigative bodies also consider those factors. The nature of the offense, the severity of it, the risk nature of the suspect, the nature of the evidence. Sometimes at that stage, even though there might not be even disclosures, the court looks at the evidence that is provided. In fact, if you look at for every charge, usually there are facts. But you see, even though in the case of the boss guy, the former boss CEO, even though EOCO had given him how much 60 million, and the court reviewed it to 30 million.
Yeah.
That still does not cast a slur on EOCO's bail terms. Because even in our normal practice in court, there are even cases that I went before a judge and then he gives bail terms, I'm dissatisfied. I come back to the same judge. I don't even go to, you see, largely sometimes if you go to the higher court, it delays. Sometimes if you come to the same court, it's faster.
Okay.
You come to the same court and the same judge reviews the terms to match lesser terms. In fact, 99% of the time, that's what we do. We don't go, you only go higher when you get the impression that this judge, he will change his position. You understand? But it is not out of place to set those bail terms. And you see, in certain jurisdictions, Elvis went to the extent of talking about the issue of sentencing and how the judge will consider. That's why in certain jurisdictions, the judge who will convict may not be the same judge who will sentence. Sometimes certain jurisdictions have it that way. So that yours is just to convict and leave the sentencing.
I think we need to adopt that in
you understand? To another judge.
Yes.
You understand? And so it gives room for a lot of fairness to be brought to play.
Thank you.
You understand? And even in our case where we use the jury system, you know, at the High Court we use the jury system. Anytime you use the jury, you go through the jury trial. The conviction is actually done by the jury. People don't know that. It's not the judge that convicts. It is the jury that convicts and the judge sentences.
Right.
And so the jury is directed on matters of fact, and the judge will take the matters of law. You understand? And then the two will blend together. And so even if the jury comes to a conclusion that the person is not guilty per the evidence given, the judge may have a different position, but his position will now be lame. It can't take precedence over the jury's position. It's always the jury's position because the jury has to find you guilty. And in that, even finding you guilty, they have to be unanimous. If there are 7 and even one disagrees with them, it becomes a nil. They have to go back and come. And so, for matters of bail, it's purely discretionary. And that's why, in listening to the AG yesterday on the floor of Parliament, he could only have taken the legal position because that is what the law says. You look at all the factors. Sometimes you say that this person may not run away. You understand? And Elvis, it's not that you should produce the money. In certain jurisdictions, in the US, you have to pay the money. You have to deposit the money.
Wow.
It is not that case here. So you don't worry about your person.
No, I just 500,000. I deposit for a property. And nobody has a property worth 500,000. How is it going to be given?
So you can't.
The justification of the surety is
that is why I think Ghana. I'm working on something, and I at some point I have to bring it up. I think we need the Bondsman's Act.
Okay.
In Ghana.
Okay.
The Bail Bondsman's Act. In many jurisdictions, they have the Bondsman's Act, and it brings sanity. In fact, we even mentioned bail contractors here.
Yeah.
Who regulates the bail contractors? The fees they charge.
Yeah.
How do you determine the fees they charge?
They are like the Goro boys in the bail system.
Does the state get from that fee they charge? Because in regulated jurisdictions, that fee is taxed.
It's subject to tax.
And they are licensed. And you see, when a jurisdiction has the Bail Bondsman's Act, what happens is that you don't struggle in looking for sureties, because every court has a list of licensed sureties. And so the moment the person is given you look at, and they are put in categories A, B, C, like contractors are put into categories. So you look at your bail terms and look at which of the categories you go for. So they'll give you the list of the bondsmen who fall in that category. Then you look for one of them. So you don't go back to your family. And while that bondsman is known by the court, he shows up today, the court doesn't even go and look at his property because he has already been licensed.
Right.
Everything about him has been
established by the courts.
Every check about him has been done. Look, I have cases. Look,
we need that.
In fact, we have cases. Let me tell you the experience. We have cases where your client, you get bail for your client, and even a mere investigator can take 1 month, 3 weeks, 2 weeks to go and inspect the property. He'll tell you, I'm not free today. Look, the frustration there.
All this while your client is inside.
And look, sometimes you have to be paying them. You have to pay them to leave other things and come to you. They'll tell you, I'm busy. And each time your client is behind bars. You need it. So the whole place is so bizarre. We need to regulate that. And actually, it's an interest. It's an area I have serious interest in. Yes. And I think even if the state will not do it, we can come by order 188. You understand? And look at that of our standing orders. The space has to be sanitized.
True. Very well.
Oh, thank you, lawyer. The poor people can brief.
The poor people don't go and engage in any criminal enterprise.
But sometimes you have not committed any crime. Somebody says you have done something.
Don't go and commit.
Maybe you are innocent, but they say you have done something.
And you
have to go and remove your mouth. Now you go there. By the time you go and remove your mouth finish, you are already in the cooler.
Be involved in an accident.
You understand it?
Somebody
you can be arrested for something as an alibi. You don't even know that somebody has committed some crime, and they say you are the one. What will you do? If somebody takes your Ghana card now that we are photocopying Ghana card everywhere, and somebody picks your photocopy to go and commit some financial crime, it is you that will be arrested, because when they look at the records, it's your details. Maybe you have not always reported that your Ghana card is missing, but you only went to do a photocopy in somebody's shop, and somebody picks a copy, and use it to go and conduct some financial crime. You don't know anything about it, but the truth is that the evidence points to you.
So you have to be arrested.
So you'll be arrested. And maybe the fraud is some huge money, crime. And by the time the true investigation will show that probably you don't know anything about it. Maybe you have spent like 6 months in the cooler because you can't afford the bail condition.
Well,
so let's not say that don't go and commit any crime. There are people in prison and even in remands
who are innocent.
Truly, they don't know anything about the crime. But then they are there because unfortunately something can be linked, can be traced to them.
Very well. Very well. Now, the president met with the clergy yesterday, and a number of issues came up, 2 topical ones. So we have just a few minutes to go, so let's touch on it briefly. One is the National Cathedral. The second is the anti-LGBTQ bill. So, Honorable Boama, I'll start with you. The president's position on signing the bill, if passed by Parliament, and then the call for from the Christian Council on the president to complete the cathedral.
And what was the president's response to the call to complete the cathedral?
He said all this is going on, and then you wait for the end of the outcome of the audit determined.
What has been audited? The Attorney General's own position on the National Cathedral. You are not the one.
I mean, I get it.
I'm just bringing this up because, see, as a country, You may disagree with a government position when it comes to decisions it make. You know, we vote government into power. They come up with their own policies and programs and priorities. Some of them may be nationally agreed to. Others, the state or some section of the people will not agree to. But where we easily want to connect them with corruption, like we did with this national cathedral, where every story about it was that some pit has been dug, costing about this million of
most expensive hole in
and people have benefited from it, and so there's corruption, and then everybody is being accused here and there. When you check all the processes that it had gone through, there is no semblance of corruption being in those projects. Then it becomes a problem. And that is why even when government is convinced that, oh, though this internment was right, maybe those who did it didn't do it the way it was supposed to be done, maybe the financial position of the country then couldn't meet all those obligations. But today we are better positioned to even continue and complete it. But because of our position in time past, it is difficult to repackage and try to convince Ghanaians. And that is where we find ourselves in this national cathedral. Investigations have been done. Attorney General and other state actors have spoken to it, that there doesn't seem to be issues of corruption or other matters in it. And even they think there is a possibility of re-looking at it and then trying to do something. And that's why the Christian Council have put this before Excellency the President. This is a national asset. Before it came up, we've done some pros and cons about the need to have a national cathedral. We can't go back to that conversation. Something has started.
Right.
Do we have the resources to complete it? Because if we don't, the entire space that we have set out there is going to rot.
Right.
And so my view is that let's get that quickly off our head and then move on. On the anti-LGBT, the president has said when he gets it, he will sign. Parliament is also poised to pass it because on both sides we all agree that it is an important legislation that we need to support to bring some decency into our country. And so it is good. I don't think we are going to make political capital about it. That Nanado, when it was passed, they didn't sign because of what have you. The most important thing is that our president is Dramani Mahama. It is the position of all Ghanaians or majority of Ghanaians, majority, to get this LGBT bill passed into law.
Very
and we take it.
Oh, it's 2 minutes. Cathedral, LGBTQ bill.
I start from LGBTQ. I think Felix Fosu actually need to issue a statement to explain the president's position. It will help over, because I need some clarity. President during campaign says he will sign it when voted into office. He won election. BBC asked, he said he doesn't know what is the content of the bill. He came to office, Catholic Bishop Conference visited him, he said, oh, the bill
died with the 8th parliament.
I don't even know to die. He will only sign a bill that has gone to the Attorney General's department and not a private member. That's what he told the Catholic Bishop Conference when they went to him.
No, he said it died with the 8th parliament. And
he said that, I'm also telling you the other side. He said that he will want it to go through the Attorney General's department.
Because
he said that
died, the private members bill died.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So now the bill before Parliament is still a private member's bill. It's not to the Aegis department. So which one is the president going to sign if it is passed? Is it that the Attorney General will submit a different bill to Parliament as he has already told the Catholic Bishop Conference?
Perhaps he's gotten the input of the AG.
There's no evidence that there's any input of the AG. Please, we've told that it's still the same people who have presented the bill.
Just to help it, just a short one. You remember when the speaker, when this bill was being placed again, reintroduced into the House, Speaker said that the president wanted to take it as a national bill, and then we declined. The speaker declined because it has been pushed by private members.
Yes, so it's a private members bill. So that's why the fellows need to come back. The president has spoken, but that's why he's the communication for the president. Yeah. So she just come back and clarify. Okay, the president now has made up his mind that if the private members bill is passed, he will sign it. Or the president and the AG are working on something different that will go to parliament and he will sign. So for me, I'm confused and I need clarity because of the various positions that the president has actually given on the bill. The cathedral, you know my position, I'm opposed to the cathedral from day one, and I'm still opposed to it. If we have to do it, my appeal to the president is that remove the name cathedral, repurpose the project into a Ghana Convention Center. If you come to Africa, you go to Durban, it's the best in Africa. The next is Kigali. West Africa has no proper convention center for major conferences. So if Ghana wants to take advantage, that's always my point. Let's put this into a national convention center that will attract all the conferences that we want to come to West Africa. I'm just coming from Durban, Cape Town. That is just a region, just a one region of South Africa. But if you go to their convention center where it's just amazing. There's nothing like that in West Africa. So for me, even if we are to continue this project, the name cathedral should be removed. They should get architects to come back, repurpose the project, make it a national convention, because we are hosting the headquarters of AFTA. It means that every business conference in the West sub-region should be coming to Ghana. Thankfully, Nigeria doesn't seem to be getting their things well. They could have had the biggest convention center in Africa. Since they are not getting it well, let's take advantage and build a proper convention center. So we may not discard the project, but we can repurpose, rebrand, and make it Ghana's convention center. So all major conferences that will happen in West Africa will be held in Ghana. It will help our airline business, tourism, everything in Ghana will benefit. We have a major convention center.
Let me give the final to
thanks so much. No, I think on the issue of the anti-LGBTQ bill, the issue, I don't even see the call that Elvis is making, that Felix should issue a statement to clarify. What do you need Felix to say again when the president himself has
president is not clear to me.
He has made his position
Which one will he sign?
Elvis can only be speaking for the president. Now you've heard from the president himself saying that if the bill is brought to him today, he is ready to sign.
Which of the bills?
The president knows it's a private member's bill.
And he said he wanted to do
it. Felix to speak to the fact that his reference is the private member's bill before Parliament.
You see, when Parliament does its work and presents it to the president, it doesn't matter whether it came as a private member's bill. The constitution is clear.
Yeah, of course.
How it came to Parliament, who sponsored it, it becomes very irrelevant. You have to sign or give your reasons for refusing to sign. That's it. And he says that once it's brought to him, regardless of how he was saying that he was expressing an opinion that he would have preferred that it came through the Attorney General. And like Boama said, when the Speaker was saying, he said that the President really made that opinion known to him. But Speaker is always also guarding his space. You understand? Once it started as a private member's bill, it must continue as such. Right. You understand? Right. And then on the issue of in fact, this is a brilliant suggestion.
The cathedral.
The cathedral. It's a brilliant, because you see, look at all the destruction that has been done. We can't bring back those properties. And me, I because of religious issues, we cannot, as a Muslim, it becomes difficult for me to go into discussing the relevance or irrelevance of a cathedral. No. But this beautiful suggestion, in fact, a month ago, I was also in Cape Town. And the convention center was, at the time I went, there was a big conference there. And you see, when you are able to have such a facility that can accommodate such numbers, it boosts a lot of things. The tourism, your hotel facilities, and look,
airline business,
everything. That is why South Africa is South Africa. In fact, sometimes you are in South Africa, you wonder whether you are in Africa.
It's
at
more
another
beautiful
level
than most European countries.
Yes, and so I think FVC's suggestion is worth considering, and I want to share in that.
Very well. Gentlemen, thank you so much. This has been good. We are grateful for your time and, of course, lending your knowledge to our benefit. Thank you so much. This has been the News Review segment. Thank you to you also for sending in your thoughts and your contributions, and, of course, for spending time with us. But don't go away. The show continues after this.
holiday is special family time.
Whenever you come around family, you can find love.
To go on an adventure.
Tickets to every game.
Some giggles. And a puppy.
Let's go!
Yippee!
This holiday, simply stay connected and get all you want on DSTV, your home of entertainment.
Christmas, my favorite time of the year.
This festive season, Volta Serene Hotel invites you to experience the magic of Christmas and New Year like never before. From 20th of December to the 1st of January, step into a world of joy, music, laughter, and celebration. We begin on the 20th with a soulful carols night, filling the air with warmth and melody. Then, on 23rd and 24th of December, arrive in style as we welcome you with fresh coconut and local treats. Christmas Day brings pure delight, exciting moments for kids, relaxing escape for adults, and an elegant all-white dinner under the stars, crowned with a spectacular fireworks display. On Boxing Day, embrace culture and rhythm, from picnics and traditional dance to an unforgettable high life and old school night. As the week unfolds, enjoy movie night, live music, karaoke, and endless fun, until we welcome 2026 with a breathtaking fireworks show on New Year's Eve. Special Christmas packages starting from 4,050 for individuals, 5,250 for couples, and 8,900 Ghana cedis for a family of 4 for 2 nights. Call or WhatsApp 0541 539 867 or 0362 025 243 to book your experience today. Volta Serene Hotel. Feel the serene touch.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obeying later.
Of course.
Star 712 hash, star 712 hash. You go feel the luckiest. Coffee from Georgia be luckiest. From not the block, she be luckiest. Yeah, you go feel be luckiest. No matter why you're lucky, everybody go feel be that luckiest.
That's Kwame!
Send your God the apple boom. If you're poor, what's that to you? So would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, mommy, simple direction. Mr. Goodluck no check me well.
Yeah, man. Easy car. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm his baby.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompts. Yes. And then boom. Confirmation test.
One quick, pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like service.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, do you have family payment? Before December, may release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Hey, Kwam! Woni pa bone papa enti wo fie na sili aye fefe wa ha na me dem de me di dua na atwa ko me de wenye sili no wenye POP ankasa e bone se wo pe plaster board installation POP cement POP fiber and afa se bone se yenye ceiling papa maw eye POP ceiling dia ene na eye Anas Boy Enterprise POP oyema wa wo dem ju fan air conditioning wa wo da wada na de em se nyame ye tie me mpa bo akonkyere ye chi mesrɛ na anya bia me ni sika ɛbɔ ano na me pesa mesrɛ no a obetime hu ya mɔbɔ no ama ya bi ɔwɔ payment plan ɛno ane sɛ wodi 70% akɔma no 30% owie ya na wotua ka wobɛhu Anas Boy Enterprise ɛwɔ Tantra Hill opposite ICGC Church Amasaman before police station traffic light na se hɔ a ɛna fe pokuase awosi kwantempɔn no so Canada Junction friend wɔ 0246 113 461 Anas Boy Enterprise ɔbɛma wo fie abright.
Good morning and welcome again back to Breakfast Daily right here on Channel 1 TV. My name is Jude Duncan. It's such a pleasure to come back on your screens to bring you your most exciting weekday TV show. Just gone by, Nana Tufo had a really engaging and exciting news review discussion with his panelists. It's now time for us to come into your communities, tell you the latest happening, of course, the sports and a lot more right here on Breakfast Daily. I don't do the show alone, of course. Chris Carter is here with me. Chris, how you doing?
Fine, thank you.
Yesterday our show was abrupted with the Syria 60 conference. That was a really interesting program. I like the Atentemben.
Yeah, the man, right?
Yeah, opening. The names came me, but really, and of course all the exciting conversations that followed through the president's speech, the governor's address. All of that and more. Right. Promises to be exciting today, right?
Yes, sir. Today promises to be very exciting, and that's why we want you to be part of it. So feel free to join in at any time. Send in those messages via the WhatsApp number on the screen. It could be questions, it could be contributions to the show, and it could be heartfelt messages to your loved ones. Just send it and we will get to read it. And also remember, if you're watching us on YouTube Live right now, the live chat section is there for you to just leave those messages and we will get to read it on the show. Anyway, let's get straight into it. We're going to be starting with some reminders. We'd like to remind you that the Agri Fair is still coming on, and definitely you do not want to miss it. The Channel 1 Agri Fair is going to be coming on at the Ifwa Sutherland Children's Park. It's going to be amazing, and this is the best way to usher you into December. That is why we call it the Christmas edition of the Agri Fair. It's going to be happening from the 28th to the 30th of November 2025, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. We are so excited about it because there's going to be everything that you would need when it comes to the agri-business and of course for your homes during Christmas, from livestock to vegetables to aquaculture, even agri-tech, especially people that are into the agri-business and want to find innovative ways to handle their business or even start some small gardening in their homes. This fair is for you, and you do not want to miss any of the goodies that we have out there for you. But interestingly, we are also having the training clinic. So if you want to get trained in any of these categories, fish farming, snail farming, poultry, and piggery, you have to be part of the Agri Fair. And if you are interested in it, call the number 0558 973 973 to register for the Agri Fair training clinics. 0558 973 973 to register for the Agri Fair training. It's still going to be at the same place, the Sutherland Children's Park, from the 28th to the 30th of November 2025. And let me go through what you're going to get trained in again. Fish farming, snail farming, poultry, and piggery. So do well to call those numbers and be set up for the training that could actually give you a job, a hustle, or something that you can work on for the next year as we approach 2026. Anyway, Jude, next.
Even before it comes to the Channel 1 News app, when somebody is into pig, like when a person rears pig, we say the person is piggery, right? It's into piggery.
Yeah.
When it's fish, we say fisheries.
Fishery, yeah.
When it's goats, what do you say?
Goatry.
What?
Goat falls under livestock, right?
Yeah, so goat is livestock, and
yeah.
so pig is piggery, fish is fisheries, goat, sheep is all livestock, right?
I think. I'm not too sure, but we have to check it. It's all also livestock.
Yeah. Anyway, so yes, AgriFair 2025 2.0. You don't want to miss out. But let me tell you what else is exciting, because the Channel One News app is live. And when we say live, it's up on the Play Store. You can go there and download it, right? So everything, news content, videos, everything you need to keep yourself updated and informed on not only the news, but all our exciting events right here at Channel One TV. It's perfectly curated for you on the Channel One News app. You don't want to miss any latest updates, right? So guys, jump on, get yourself updated, see for yourself all the amazing things happening in terms of, content, news, videos, reels, information, announcements, everything, perfectly tailored for your information, right? So get on the App Store, download it, get the link out there, share, tell people about the new Channel One News app that is live and active on Google Play.
All right, so that's it for our reminders. Now, let's remind you that it's Wednesday, and every Wednesday it's the sanitation drive. So this time around, we are going to be looking at what the sanitation looks like in some parts of the Western region. And this time, it's all about poor waste management. That is the issue. So we have a report from our Western Regional Bureau Chief, Akwesi Ajay and Nim. Let's check out this report, and when we come back, we will have a conversation about this.
This mountainous refuse dump located in Kansarodo, a suburb of the Sekenita Kwade metropolis, is one of the nuisance that is being created with the management of waste within the municipality. A look at it shows that it is not far from the community, sitting very much at the heart of the community. And these houses and their residents are basically suffering from the stench. Resident tells me that it's actually generates a lot of house flies that actually comes into their homes, and also the spreading of some of these refuse into their homes, and they want it to actually be moved as soon as possible to prevent any outbreak of diseases.
Well, it's been here for a while. I think more than 5 years plus. Before then, it was up there. Then they move it to this side. They bring machine to come and offload it. By that time, it can be here for, months, and no machine comes around to offload it. And you can see that it is extending to the roadside, and it's not helping us at all. You see, we have the gutter just close to it. When it rains, the river, overflows. It comes around. It can lead to flooding. Some of the refuse get into the gutter. You see, so it blocks the waterway. You see, then the stench, the house flies, the germs and other bacteria that it germinates, and the people around, you see, it's really not good at all. It can break an outbreak of diseases like cholera, malaria, and other stuff.
The children, we have the flies and malaria. I think it's good to move it here. It will be better for us.
Not far from this waste dumping site is this container shop, which happens to be a tailoring shop. And I just want to find out from this seamstress I see over here busily working, what she also has to say about the impact of the waste on her operations over here. Madam, welcome to Channel One TV. Please, it depends on so na waste also.
Waste in the oil or the yama brain or the ba. Bola no bola into what the Namiana do with once na. Customers will buy, will be dry and walk. Also, want to maintain a day. Then you should answer the people come customers.
So I will talk about the mosquito aspect. And so in the evening, you can't sit outside unless you go inside. And for the scents.
Why can't you sit outside?
Because of the mosquito.
The rate at which
waste is generated is so high. And we have to put in all our effort to remedy the situation. It's not the best. It's not what we expect to achieve, but we are doing all we can to bring sanity within the waste management realm. The guidelines to the Common Fund was that 10% of the money released by the government should go into waste management. That is where the challenge comes, because it is uniform throughout the whole country. And you cannot compare the waste management situation in a metropolis like Sekanita Krade to a rural district like, say, Bia. But both of us have to use 10% to resolve sanitation problems. That is where I've seen the challenges. I was even more compounded by the fact that in Sekanita Krade here, we have a landfill site, an engineered landfill site. And this 10% will also have to be used in managing the landfill site, which is seriously capital intensive. So we are talking with the local government minister as well as the Minister of Finance to make special allocation for us to take care of the landfill site.
Here at the Fiakwa municipality, the issues of waste management and general sanitation isn't so different from where we have been. But the mayor tells me that their current challenge that they are facing is the issue of waste segregation and the need for a solid waste processor here in the municipality.
We had always done something around 60 to 70 tons every month of waste, every month to the STMA landfill. So we believe that we can reduce it drastically if we take the plastic part of it for reuse. And they were also hoping that Zoom Lion, their waste recycling plants they've set up, when it starts working, it will also reduce the amount of volumes that goes to the landfill site for it to.
All right, there you have it, and that's the report from our Western Regional Bureau Chief. And honestly, it's a lot. I don't want to believe that people still live in those areas. I feel like if it's increasing, because this thing has been going on for 5 years, I feel like if it's been going on for this long and nothing permanent has been done about it, I feel like they should have left those areas. But we are not the ones supposed to tell people where to live. But
they don't have an alternative. That's also the point. And again, I feel like the Western region particularly is on a ticking time bomb. And I really can't unsee it, right? Because, see, the region has been largely described as the capital of Galamsey in the country. It's believed that the epicenter of Galamsey in Ghana is in the Western region particularly, right? The Prestia, the Takwa areas, all of that. Even we are now told that it's coming close and close to like the urbanized centers, right, of the region. So it's a worry. If you are dealing with Galamsey, that is already affecting significantly the environment and the quality of life, and you now have to also deal with a sanitation problem. I mean, look at the two, marry the two, and see where we stand. So on one breath is a serious environmental challenge that is affecting the quality of food, because we know of the effects of Galamsey on foodstuffs and food that is grown in Galamsey areas, the effect of the quality of water, the effect of the aquatic life, and now after destroying the environment, your own surrounding is also filled with filth. And of course, I don't want to go into filth and health related conversation. Of course. So
their environment is
so for me it's like we are just waiting for everything to just crumble. We are just one major health outbreak from like the whole region grinding to a halt. So I don't know what else we want to see before urgent and very pragmatic steps are taken.
Anyway, Akwesi Eje-Enim, our Western Regional Bureau Chief, is actually online right now. He's talking to us via Zoom. So let's speak to him and he can give us a picture of what the whole thing looks like. Hi, Akwesi. Hi, how are you? Good morning.
this is the first time I've seen. This is the first. I could see Jude here. This is the first time I've seen you in a vehicle for a Zoom. Must have been a very serious, whatever that got you in the car to do the Zoom from the car must be very serious.
Yeah. All right. So Akwesi, paint the picture for us. What is the current state of the waste management in the community that you actually visited?
Well, this is a report from the Secretariat of the Metropolitan Assembly and that of the Efia Kwesimintin municipality. These are twin assemblies, and exactly where I went is a place they call Cancer Road, and these places, I mean, have a lot of, these dumping sites that don't see frequent picking up. I mean, they initially put those things there, and then a truck comes to pick it. But if you Secretariat Accra as a city doesn't have the kinds of, recycling plants that we have in Accra. The ARICOP, the integrated recycling plants that we have in Accra, and the city is now working to have one. Zoom Lion is in the process of getting one over here. Currently, they have the liquid waste plant, but in terms of a plant to process solid waste, like what you see in the footage, we don't have it. So they currently dump all these waste at a place they call landfill site, and these landfill sites, when it's raining season, it is not accessible because the road to the place sometimes is so muddy that the trucks hardly get a chance to actually get to the dumping site properly. You saw the trucks, some of them actually parked on the way, and the landfill site in itself is not good for waste management in the world today. They don't necessarily process it. They leave the waste there hoping that it will decompose. And if you look at the collection of waste that we have, a lot of polythene bags and all that, and these things don't decompose anytime soon. And so the expectation is that the city will soon get a recycling plant so that there will be room for waste segregation, and then the rubber will be taken for processing, and the other solid waste can actually go through some kind of waste processing. And so you're listening to the mayor. Another challenge they have is the fact that allocation that actually goes to the assembly for waste management is just 10% of their common fund. And as a Metropolitan Assembly, he is of the view that the 10% allocation from the common fund allocation is not enough to manage waste within such a city. And so they are hoping that the local government, ministry, and the government as a whole will take a second look at expanding that allocation that goes to waste management, because you can't use other components of the common fund to manage waste when it is also earmarked for other developmental projects. And so that is the situation that they have. When you move around, you come across some of these dumping sites across the two municipalities, and that is a worry.
Right. So from what you're seeing, how are the waste piles affecting the residents, especially when it comes to their health? We know the sanitation side of things, but movement too. When it comes to movement too, how does this affect them?
It does. Before we even get to the health implications, you listen to the seamstress that I spoke to. She tells me it is actually affecting her business because the house flies, goes into her shop, and customers come, they don't want to even sit down. And so I don't think a customer, after experiencing such a thing, will even go back to do business within that vicinity. And so generally it's not good. Some of the rubbers and the things ends up flying into people's homes. And again, it generates mosquito bites, which could easily translate into cholera and other diseases. The city, at the last round of cholera outbreak, recorded several cases, and all of these things, could be traced to the kind of management we do have when it comes to waste issues. And so it is really having its own impact in many ways or many aspects of the residents' life.
Right. So you mentioned a bit of an issue of lack of funding, but did they explain how this inadequate funding has been going on for how long it has been going on for?
Well, I mean, it's been ages. It's been ages. I mean, I think the 10% is even the current better allocation they are getting. And so you can tell previously how much was going to them. I think the bigger issue is for the city to have a waste recycling plant, which will definitely be in need of waste to actually recycle. We also don't have these recycling plants actually collecting these rubbish, because if there's a recycling plant that is in need of these plastics and then collecting back sachet water bags, they will be actually be segregated and then taken to side plant, but they are not there, and as a result, all of these things are lumped together and sent to the dumping site before it is taxed to the landfill site at somewhere around Isipon. And so it is really troubling. Besides the funding issue, I think the city needs a proper recycling plant that can deal with solid waste.
All right. Okay. I agree with you about the issue of recycling plant. But before we actually let you go, I wanted to ask, before the recycling plant comes, how have they been managing? How long does it stay in that position before it moves to the landfill site? So say, obviously, people are living around those areas. So when people come to dump those waste there, how long does it stay? How long do they have to deal with a stench? How long do they have to deal with the flies for before it actually moves to the landfill site, then another one is dumped?
Yeah, I mean, that is exactly what the residents alluded to. The first gentleman that I spoke to, he told me that the frequency with which they actually come to cut it to the landfill sites has actually been reduced. And so it stays for a very long time. And a portion of the dumping site that is in a short has become like something that is standing there for ages. It's you can see that it's not been cut for a very long time. It's not been touched for a very long time. So it's getting much thicker and thicker, and it tells you how the city is not doing well in frequently getting this waste to the landfill site. And I think it comes with the issue of the funding. I'm sure if the city has more hands going out there to collect this waste, it will really help to quicken the pace or the interval within which these things are actually collected.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much for your time, Akwesi. But just kindly stay on. We want to engage briefly an environmentalist to throw to us some of the, the science really to this. Good morning and welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Good morning.
I trust you're well, sir.
By God's grace.
Great. So this is what we have to deal with. I've heard many describe the Western region as the epicenter of Galamsey in Ghana, and I'm sure in your line of work you would have come across same. There's also the issue around sanitation, right? How much of a risk is this, and would you even describe this as a ticking time bomb?
Yes. Good morning once again to your viewers and listeners. Sanitation-related issues and Galamsey as well are becoming a menace, and as a nation, there is a need for us to look at it, to take our own destiny into our own hands and solve the problem holistically. Sanitation, first and foremost, is a shared responsibility. It is something that local authorities have their responsibility to offer or discharge, and citizens also have a responsibility to discharge. Until these two or various stakeholders that are in the sanitation-related issues chain have decided to resolve this, their responsibilities to make sure that everybody is, taking or playing his or her role very well, we are sitting on time bomb. Let's look at the refuse that people generate in their various homes. Waste management starts at the generation point. Wherever you are generating the waste management, the immediate way of managing the waste to be a priority. So for us in the waste management chain, we said that waste management starts at the generation level. Take plastics use, for example. These days, people go to market, they buy things, items, and they take plastics or polythenes for various items they buy. And as you walk on the streets of this country, I mean, wherever, plastics are all over. And sometimes I ask myself, is it that we should push forward for banning of plastics, or is it that we should increase communication and behavioral change for people to come to understanding that waste management is expensive, and as we do these irresponsible behaviors or show these attitudes, we are costing the nation, because money that could have been used for other development projects or facilities has always been channeled into waste management and sanitation related activities, and this is costing the nation. This is costing individual local authorities. It is expensive to manage waste. So if we don't all put our hands together and the roles that the various stakeholders are to play, they play them effectively, we will always be discussing these sanitation related issues, and the consequences will not go away. They will be with us. Diseases are related to sanitation related issues. Cost is related to sanitation related issues. In fact, economic productivity is related to sanitation related issues. So there's a need for stakeholders to all come on board and discharge their responsibilities. And that will be my initial speak.
Mr. Lamptey, so we also not too long ago heard the president talk about the fact that his government was considering banning styrofoam, you know, the material used in the production of some of these takeaway packs, as we would commonly refer to them. And we've seen the level of destruction. Of course, we know that these materials are very difficult to degrade. They stay, you know, for so long without getting destroyed, and it's affecting not only the environment but even aquatic life and all of that. Would you say the banning of styrofoam and, of course, you know, other plastics is the way to go, considering our peculiar situation as a country?
Yes, my take will be that, you know, these activities also generate some level of employment. They generate some level of economic activities, which all in the whole could have contributed to the development of this country. But like the president you said is saying, I didn't hear that one, but like the president you said is saying, thinking about how to ban some of these things. It is because we are being irresponsible. It is because we are because myself, it occurs to me, it re-echoes in my ears that these are some of the options we could be looking at. But this should be a national debate. A national debate in such a way that, are we ready to ban them and lose the economic profitability that goes with it, the convenience that goes with it, or we are ready rather to change our behavior and think of, you know, recycling some of these plastics, think of reusing some of these plastics, think of, you know, recovering of some of these plastics, because the thing is like a chicken and hen. If we ban as the president, you said the president is saying, it will come with some disadvantages and some advantages as well. The same way, if we decided to rather change our behavior, where even though these things will go on, these activities will come on, this banning will not come into play, but we will be responsible to how we manage our waste. I think we have got to go. But if there's people will not change their attitude, then I think the president will be right to, you know, take some of these decisions. Because the way refuse is piling in this country, and you know, like I told you, different assemblies are responsible for some of these municipal waste, but the resources to manage them is not there. There are other developmental agenda that the local authorities, the states, the government have to, you know, take control of. And if we be channeling chunk of our money into just waste management, I use just not because it's not something to be done, but just that I'm trying to say that one aspect of it to be done with. I believe that there's a need for behavioral change and communication, so that people will come to the realization that these things are costing us. these things are bringing us diseases. Diseases are going to have affect future generations.
Yeah.
Sustainability is at risk as we speak now. I.e., our land, our rivers, I mean the atmosphere, the air quality are all things that are being affected by the way we manage waste in this country. People are burning waste here and there. People are, discharging waste into drains.
I get the sense of frustration and rightly so. But just by way of information, right? So the call by the president, on proposals to ban styrofoam was made on June 5 this year at the National Tree Planting Exercise, right? So he indeed said that, and I can read a quote, but he goes on to say that they were going to, the styrofoam was one of the major polluters of the environment, and that government was seriously considering banning it. But my colleague Chris has some more questions for you.
Hello, sir.
Yeah.
So what type of treatment plants do you think we actually need to solve these problems? Because when you look at the Western region, for example, with the report we just watched, their issue was an issue of, treatment plants. So they are using more of the landfill management. But what kind of treatment plant do you think that we actually need?
Okay, so before I even come to the treatment plants for the management of the waste, I want to say that I will not have issue with the president when he decides to ban some of these things, because it's becoming very dangerous to our country. And so the president will not be out of order when he decides to ban the styrofoams and the things that we are talking about. I wouldn't have any difference to that view.
Right.
But coming to the treatment, yes, the need for recycling plants, biorecycling plants are very important and very emerging, and that is the way to go. So that even for us in Western region, with the Secretariat Metropolitan Assembly, we are in the process of, making sure that we secure some of these things at our standard disposal site, the landfill site, so that instead of just piling and compacting the waste at the landfill site, we would rather look at the multi-purpose biodigesters and composting recycling plants, like you are saying, the bio-recycling plants, where we can generate some level of fertilizers and other composting materials that can be reused for other activities. Are the things we are considering here. We are in partnership with other donor countries or donor funding institutions to ensure that some of these things are the things or the way forward to go. For us in Western region, especially the Secretariat Metropolitan Assembly, we have a team in place that is working on some of these things, and we are believing that they will yield fruit or better fruit.
All right. So without all these facilities right now, and since you're just using the landfill management, where does all the waste go?
So currently, our waste management field, our landfill is operating. It's not out of order. It's still operating. It's still taking refuge from the communities.
Right.
But the place is full, which needs some, modernization, and then, like I told you, we are in agreement or consultation with other donor funding countries to, help us to modernize the place.
All right. So, and earlier, when you spoke to my colleague, you actually talked about that it's all hands on deck when we want to fight this issue. It's about people knowing about the 3 R's of sustainability, that is reusing, recycling, and reducing. So from your side, what are you doing to educate the people when it comes to these issues? Because obviously, if we are going to fight the issue of waste management, like you said, it has to involve everybody. So from your side, what are you doing with the people by educating them?
Okay, so for us, we have only the option of intensifying education. As I speak to you, the Roman Catholic Church is celebrating its cathedral week in the whole nation.
Right.
Yesterday and Monday, the SCMA Environmental and Sanitation Unit has undertaken rigorous education at the church. Yesterday, between 6 and 9, and Monday between 6 and 9 p.m., we had education with the church, Cathedral Week celebration. Their theme was the environment and our responsibility towards the environment as Christians.
Right.
And so we used the opportunity to visit the church, and we had intensive health education with them. We touched on all the aspects of issues that will bring environmental degradation to the communities, to the nation, and the state as a whole. So we are intensifying our education. We are also on the prosecution agenda as we educate the people when they fault and they refuse to, adhere to some of the education or the principles that we are giving to them. And you go ahead, then we will have no option than to take it to court for prosecution. STMA, we are on, making sure that these days, when you do the wrong thing, we'll just take you to the court. You are not our enemy. We are just compelling you to do the right thing.
Right.
So when we have educated you for a time and you refuse to abide by it, then we have no option than to take you to court. So these are the options we as stakeholders and as a government authority, as people who are, responsible for the sanitation-related issues within the metropolis here. We are intensifying our education. We are also making people know that yesterday was on the laws. The day before yesterday were on the environmental-related issues that are causing degradation and are causing poor air quality and, flooding and all those things. We told them about, or we educated them about all those issues. And yesterday, we topped it up with the fact that if you do not comply with some of these issues or all these issues, then we have options which are available for us to prosecute you. We gave them we made them know that there are existing laws that forbid people from, practicing or doing some of these illegal activities, and then poor behavioral pattern or ways towards sanitation-related issues.
Right. So, in your assessments, are the assemblies doing enough, even with the issue of limited funding? Do you think they're doing enough? And if they are not, what can they do more?
Yes, I believe that we are doing our best, but there's more room for improvement. There's much to be done, even though we are doing our best. So we are only pleading with people that as resources are not that available, and resources will always be scarce too, there's a need for us to, also as citizens or as general citizens, be able to, manage the refuse that we generate. You mentioned the 3 hours where we have to make sure that we reduce the level of waste we generate.
Right.
There's a need for us to recycle our waste, and then there's a need for
reuse.
The reuse of the refuse or the waste. These are materials in transit, and we cannot classify them as waste. If you go to buy something with a polythene bag, and that thing like a material, which that material does not spoil the polythene bag, and you are going to buy ingredients now, you can use the same polythene to go and buy.
Exactly.
Now, let me tell you, the recycling we are talking about is not only just, mounting big plants and machinery before we can do recycling. In our own small way, if it is organic materials, we can recycle them by ourselves. So some of these things, I was in a delegation yesterday, a German team visited us, and we went to the secondary schools which were doing art and craft. They were using some of these materials to do their art and craft. Agri supporters was on that program, Holy Church, Ahankama was about 5 secondary schools were on this tangent. And I believe that this thing is a shared responsibility. Churches must preach these things on their pulpits. Teachers must make children to be responsible in their youthful ages at the schools, so that they grow to become what we want them to be. But if we leave it for only local authorities to, make some of these interventions, we will not get to where we want to get to. So I will plead with you and with this your platform to let everybody know that it is our small contribution towards environmental-related issues that will holistically make us achieve something. So let us all put our hands on deck. If you see somebody, throwing some rubbish to a gutter somewhere that is not good, let the person know that what he's doing is not good. Because the consequences will not be to that person alone. If it is going to cause flooding, the flooding will be caused in the whole community. If it's going to bring about outbreak of disease, cholera, and diarrhea diseases, they are all things that affect entire community. And if possible, the whole nation. So I remember the early part of this year or later part of last year when the cholera outbreak came. It started from Volta region through to Accra to Central region to Western region. And before you realize, it's almost the whole nation. Because of maybe one person openly defecating somewhere, you see the consequences it is bringing about. So I believe that all stakeholders, and all stakeholders means that all of us must put our hands on deck and make sure that we take our own destiny into our own hands.
Right. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Lamte, who is a Metro.
I wanted to just push one very brief question to him. I beg of you, Mr. Alate.
Senior,
would you say that we need a substantive environmental minister? Because we know that now, you know, in the aftermath of that really tragic helicopter crash, the lands minister is now acting. He has a lot to deal with on his hands already. The Galamsey issues, you know, minerals extractives. Would you say it's about time we had like a substantive environment minister to also pay attention to some of these key emerging issues?
This one is a political decision. I mean, you know that this one automatically is a political decision. But what I would recommend is a directory. As we speak now, the environmental health unit is more or less, environmental health is more or less a unit in the district assembly. So I recently saw a viral post where the current minister for local government and chief council religious affairs is trying to make the unit a department, so that we have district directors, we have district regional directors and all those things. I'm sure we should start from there to get to the ministerial portfolio you are talking about. But currently, I want to believe that the local government minister thinking that the department should be upgraded into the unit should be upgraded into a department, which we have no, is not in existence now, should be one of the way forward to some of these issues, so that maybe consequently the political decision can come in to make sure that we have a sanitation minister, or environmental health issues as a ministerial portfolio or something.
All right, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Daniel Lamte, who is a Metro environmental health analyst. So health, environment, bridging together as one. Insightful, comments from him. I think a lot of the things he said are some of our issues we have actually also advocated for on this platform.
Yeah.
But Akwesi is still on. Akwesi Ejenim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sure listening to Mr. Daniel Lamte, the issues he raised are concerns you've heard over and over again as you report on illegal mining and report on the environment, and you are not really surprised by some of the things he said.
Exactly so. The issue of, the need to intensify education on environmental health or waste management, general sanitation, I think it's okay. But beyond the education, the volumes of waste that we are generating is so much that we are not able to reuse them in that quantity. Let me take, for instance, myself. I generate so much plastic waste. Polythenes, and more especially empty bottles, water bottles, sachet water. And previously I had somebody who was coming to my house to collect them because I was separating them. And they did come to take it, compress it, and bag it to be taken to Accra. For our 3 months, they say they don't have market for it. And so they stopped coming. And so I've stopped segregating this thing. I'm now putting it back into the bin with solid waste, which is not good. They were telling me that what they are interested in is just the cover of the bottle, because that is what really gives them money. So they don't want the bottle, and I don't have a place to keep the bottle. I collected a lot of them, and it was occupying so much space, so I had to let it go. So the volumes we are reusing is not that much as compared to the volumes of waste that we are generating. And so for me, the way forward is to have the recycling plant. A recycling plant that will process this solid waste, have one for the plastic, so that locally people can segregate and have a demand for it to be taken away. Else, you educate people, they segregate, and at the end of the day, there's no room to process. And the people will still find a way to dump it back onto the refuse dump.
Yeah. Finally, before you take leave of us, we know also that the acting environment and science minister, who is the substantive minister for lands and natural resources, is from the region, right? is he aware? Do you get a sense that he knows about the level of filth and the general sanitation conditions in the region? And has he, by any chance, commented on it or, taken steps to address some of these issues we're discussing?
Well, if you look at the current architecture for local governance, waste management is purely under the local government ministry. And so even the environmental science and environmental ministry doesn't play so much role when it comes to the local waste management. So he acting doesn't really bring him in connection with how assemblies are managing waste, because it is purely a local government act. And as Mr. Lamte did mention earlier, they report to the district assembly, and it is out of the common fund that waste is supposed to be managed at the local level. And so it goes back to local government ministry to really deal with fun ways of getting, PPPs, waste. I know Zoom Lion is in the process of putting up a waste recycling plant over here. It's been a while. They have not been able to personalize it. I'm sure there are issues that they would want government to listen to. And so I think that must be given a hearing. And they've been able to get us a solid waste treatment plant. A liquid waste treatment plant. So that one is being taken care of. We used to dump our liquid waste at the sea. We had a place that trucks will come and collect the solid liquid waste and go and pump it into the sea. Right now, it is not happening. We have a liquid waste treatment plant that is processing the liquid waste. But when it comes to solid waste, the city really needs one. And so I know the government doesn't really put up this thing, but they go into PPPs and then it gets, a private sector to actually play such a significant role. So we are looking forward to see government looking at some of these private-public partnership projects so that some of these things will be addressed.
Thank you so much for your time, Akwesi Eje Enim, GJA Journalist of the Year for Environment and Science, Best Reporter, GJA Journalist of the Year for Environment and Science. We are so grateful. Today he decided to report in a car.
This is the second time actually.
Thank you.
As you said, the job demands, and he adhered to the call. Chris, it is what it is, right?
Yeah, I think it's been a great conversation, and I like the fact that we are having conversations about this. And I also like the fact that Mr. Daniel Lamte says it actually starts with all of us.
Yeah, it's a mindset thing.
It's a mindset thing. True. It's a serious mindset thing. I said this last week on the same segment, that it's a mindset thing. It has to involve everybody, because the government cannot be doing its part, the ministries cannot be doing their part, the environmentalists cannot be doing their part, and you're not doing your part. It will not work. It will not work. When I'm talking about doing my part in the house, let's bring the 3 R's, the reduce, the reuse, the recycle. Obviously, I might not be able to recycle anything. I don't have the big machine to recycle, to create something new, but learn to reuse stuff. Learn to reuse those bottles. Learn to reuse, like you buy something, you see people, they buy this bottle, and they just throw it. But they can actually reuse this bottle for something else at home. It can be used for packaging. It can be used for something else.
Okay, so every bottle of water I drink, I should recycle.
No, you see, you cannot reuse. You might not be able to reuse the bottle of water at home because you might have a lot.
Exactly.
So that one goes to the recycling people.
So we send that one out.
Yes, but the ones you can use at home, learn to do it. Learn to reuse stuff. Learn to buy stuff that's okay, basically, learn to buy stuff that you can reuse. Because people just buy one-time use thing. It does not work.
So it's also a behavioral thing, right?
Yes, and when you go
in terms of like
when you go to the
preferences.
Yeah, when you go to the shops, like the big malls and everything in other countries, even in Cote d'Ivoire here. When I went to Cote d'Ivoire, when you buy, say, this, you can actually hold it in your hand.
And send it away.
I came there with a car. Of course, I can buy it and just take it away, like pay for it and just go.
But you see, Ghanaians, you don't like people.
No, so what they do what they do in Cote d'Ivoire is, okay, they know you can handle this like this. Oh, you want You want a rubber bag, you have to pay for the rubber bag.
Yeah.
So you have to pay for. So,
So
in your mind, you're like,
cost.
why should I pay for this rubber bag? Just hold it. So what it also helps you do
is indirect taxes on it.
Yes. So what it also helps you do is when you are going to buy in, say, a mall, you're going to buy your groceries, you carry your basket, your own from your house, your own bag from your house. So you see people carry their bags from their houses, like in Europe.
So that's more sustainable.
So that's sustainable because we all want a sustainable life right now. We're talking about the waters that are getting clogged. We're talking about the oceans. We're talking about how fast fashion is affecting you. There are some things that you don't need, but you just buy it because you have money. You just want to buy. Do you understand? So even the example of fast fashion. Fast fashion is actually affecting us when it comes to the amount of waste that we also create. Those dumpsters that you see there, when you go inside there, you're going to see a lot of clothes that you're like, are we really using all this? And the fast fashion sometimes, honestly, do we need them? You don't really need. You wear it once or twice, and because they are fast fashion, they don't even have quality. You just wear it once or twice, it's gone.
And it's gone. So brittle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So why do you think everyone is fighting some of the fast fashion companies? Do you understand? Because they're creating waste. So I think
it's in large quantities.
In large quantities, though. See, you know, like when it comes to slow fashion, slow fashion or sustainable fashion, like Africans, you have to go to the tailor and the tailor have to sew for you.
Yeah, the cloth,
of course,
you can wear the cloth for 10 years.
Exactly. So Africa has already been practicing slow fashion for a long time, sustainability in fashion for a long time. But with the inflow of, I don't want to call any brand names, but because we like them on social media, you understand. But like every minute there's a new thing. There's spaghetti strap. The next 2 days there's 2 spaghetti strap on the same style. And next there's another line. There's one line here. Like it's just.
It's called the capitalist economy.
You understand? It's just, I don't know. I think we all need to learn to
be sustainable.
To be sustainable, and also people who produce products that we buy try sustainable packaging.
No, but they exist to make money, right? So
but you see, when we start talking about these issues and start hammering on it and maybe put more taxes on their products, then they will learn to use sustainable packaging. Do you know there are companies in Ghana that when you buy their liquid soap, like say their black soap, they'll tell you, okay, when you finish using this and you bring it back for us, you understand?
We'll give you an incentive.
We'll give you an incentive. We'll give you an extra something. So if you want to buy the next one, we'll give you, yes, the bottle, but an extra something. Thank you so much.
That's the way to go.
That's the way to go.
Interesting. See, guys, I was just going to say that we need to go back to the basics, right? And when I talk about the basics, like, just ensure your environment is clean. Sweep your surroundings. Don't throw waste in rainwater. Have your own personal dustbin. I see people even do this now. They segregate the waste, so they have like
the segregation of the waste is also actually one of the best things to do, especially in public places.
Absolutely,
that's how it should be.
So, personally, I think let's go back to the basics. Let's stop dumping refuse in some bush somewhere. Stop pouring refuse in gutters. Stop. Even recently, I think a year ago or so ago, Tesano, a very elite community like Tesano. We saw the video.
We saw the video.
The rain. Somebody carried the ball, throw it to Chaka, Nyama. We need to do better, right? While we call on, like you've said, really, the need for a very sustainable approach in managing waste, I also think that we should adhere to the basics, stagnant, like let's community cleaning. Like once we should come together and say, okay, we in Frafraha, Adenta, today, or Deaf Track Committee 11, today we are coming to clean. We should have that national sense of duty, and commitment to our environment.
But is that not what the Sanitation Day is all about?
Yeah, but we don't adhere to it. And I'll even come and sit and pontificate because I don't remember the last time I partook in it. But it is also because we don't see that strong sense of leadership from the part of duty bearers to say,
don't catch us now.
We are all doing this. So maybe after people say,
I think there should be sanitation officers on the like, what are you doing on the Saturday morning to this Sanitation Day? Come on, go back to your house. Then everybody will go back to their houses and clean their house.
But it should be a more, an approach like that should be also, guided by like 21st century best practices. You can't be holding a whip and shouting on people. You should use what I call like the software approach first, right? Appeal to their sense of national duty,
so
appeal to their patriotism. Like we saw it in the past. Like there were ads on our TVs. Malaria. I always sing this song. Malaria, free future. This is our dream. Roll back malaria. Children, let's fight. Like all of those things created some.
So you say okay.
Some national sense of duty.
Okay, so basically
we were conscientized about
it.
So
we're talking about. I think we're talking about the same thing the man was talking about. So there should be more campaigns.
Absolutely.
There should be more campaigns.
But it should be state led. You don't expect people in their private homes to necessarily. There are few who are intrinsically motivated, and they have that kind of leadership thing in them to start things on their own for their communities. But at the heart of it, it should be state led, and that is why I personally feel like government through the Ministry of Environment and the EPA, they should be doing more. Already, people feel like we've lost the Galamsey fight. We can't lose the sanitation fight because that would be too much of a cross that we can't carry. Like, think of the health crisis we'll be in as a country if after Galamsey we have to deal with sanitation, all of the health implications. So for me, I think that's a state-led approach in trying to conscientize citizens, and ourselves to push the mindset shift. And the mindset shift will only happen when the state is deliberately minded to say that, guys, this is the approach we are going to do. You can't drop refuse. You can't, like the first one was in primary school. That was when we were. It was like you can't litter. You pick the whole compound, and for some reason the school was always clean, and it stayed with me up until now. I hold a bottle. I just can't come to myself to drop it.
And
imagine if everybody had that mindset.
Like I even keep bottles in my car because I'm like, where do I drop it? Exactly. Because I just feel somehow throwing it from the window.
And that being said, the state also has got to plan our cities properly and provide these drop bins so that it's easy. Because people also litter because we don't have like. But the heart of it is a mindset problem.
And also, I think the malls, the big shops, should start pushing people to carry their own bags. Sometimes, if you want to buy your groceries, because the truth is, we have so many plastic waste everywhere, and the plastic waste are from these places. You can come out of a mall, buy your grocery, you see somebody carrying about 20 rubber bags.
What they coin?
Well, what are you going to do with it? 20 rubber bags. At the end of the day, they don't even reuse these rubber bags at home. They throw it, and then wherever the waste ends, we see a lot of.
Wherever the chips may fall.
Go to the beach. The beach. You see the plenty of rubber bags. Yeah.
Guys, that's all time will allow us for this really important conversation on sanitation issues. Of course, the focus was Western region, but we know of other really disturbing scenarios in other parts of the country. We'll be following them keenly. But for now, we'll take a break. When we're back, there's a lot more on Breakfast Daily. Don't go away.
The Premier League? Your DSTV premium subscription could get you there in real life, Charlie. Stay connected for your chance to watch the Premier League live. Man U versus Man City at Old Trafford, or Arsenal versus Man U in London. Stay connected to score with DSTV Premium. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform. Terms and conditions apply.
Kwame and his uncle are almost here.
Wait a minute. This one too, your friend Kwame.
Wait, Kwame. As in the same Kwame again?
Yes, Mommy.
I'm the second coming. Into all this tension just to reintroduce that broke boy from Kaswa.
Why would you deceive the family like this again?
Now I understand the whole delay. Troll from Kaswa. Why wouldn't he be late? Obey him later.
Of course.
712 hash, star 712 hash. Yeah, you go be the luckiest. Go be from Georgia, be luckiest. From not the cause she be luckiest. Yeah, you go be luckiest. No matter what you're luckiest. Everybody go be the luckiest.
That's Kwamio! Send your God up boom! If you put it toy, so would the coming of the Son of Man be. Is that his car?
Ha! Even now, your shadow the way designer.
I use my own mouth to reject him. Oh, this is my mouth. Look at that.
Kwame, my son. Now, tell me the truth. How did this all happen?
Oh, mommy, simple direction. Mr. Good Luck no check me well.
Yeah, man. Easy qua. Or dial star 712 hash.
The devil is a liar.
He picked his ticket and entered his lucky 5-digit number.
I'm a baby.
Oh, how romantic.
And he followed the prompts. Yes. And then boom, confirmation test.
I'm quick. Pick 5 numbers for me, okay? I'm feeling like service.
Dial star 712 hash. Choose your ticket. Enter your lucky number. Follow the prompts and let destiny handle the
You see how they love you now?
Yo, do you have family payment? Before December, maybe release a motivational album. Patapa, my super.
This promotion is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas platform.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily. My name is Jude Duncan. Just gone by, not quite a pleasant conversation, but still very important. But we'll move to the trending aspect of the show. Basically here, you get to power the show, you get to drive the show, because we talk about what you started talking about on social media. And Chris, there's so much happening. Sometimes it's very difficult. I can imagine the stress of the producer.
You can't keep up.
Exactly. It's so like fast paced,
can't
right?
keep up.
So for example, what we spoke about pay stack on Monday, right? I go on the trends today, it's still up there. But of course, there are new developments coming in. There's also football. Like there's so much politics. I just say everybody has an opinion.
Yeah.
But I'll start off with football today. Because of course the Black Stars, they are out of the AFCON. They're not going to participate because they missed out in the qualifiers. But they've been playing some friendly games as part of the Kirin Cup competition in Asia. So there's like a 4-nation tournament, right? And on Monday we played against Japan, and it didn't really go down well for the Black Stars. We lost 2-0. And yesterday, at 11 a.m. Ghana time, at 2 p.m. in Japan, we played against South Korea.
Oh, no wonder. I saw people shouting on a working day, working hour. I was like, what's going on?
Against all odds and
Why
against
are you people shouting in your office?
very unpopular opinion that, we don't like the Black Stars, we can't be bothered.
Oh, we
really
them.
do love the Black Stars.
We love them.
It is what it is.
We love them with their yellow jersey and their white jerseys.
So we met them at the 2022 World Cup, and we beat them 3-2. That was like a really nervy game for the Black Stars. But in this competition, it was basically to also give an opportunity for new entrants in the team to make a claim for themselves in terms of a Black Star, a spot at the World Cup. We lost 1-0, but the major talking point in that game was a penalty that was saved by Benjamin Asare. Now, the backstory is that there's a lot of contention, right? And I don't want to use the word strive, but it feels so much like it with regards to whether or not he is our number one for the team. But he saved a penalty, but he considered a goal many have described as, he could have done better. But altogether, concerns have arisen around the seemingly lack of effort in friendly games from the Black Stars. I don't remember the last time the Black Stars won a friendly match.
When you say the lack of effort, are you saying the lack of effort because not the whole squad went for the game, or because it's new faces playing this?
It's always been the case that especially for Coach Otuado's tenure as Black Stars, it's like, oh, friendlies are used to test new players. So it's not necessarily to win. But I see, cumulatively,
that's his style.
That is his philosophy of a sort.
Hey.
But you can't really fault him because, you know, it makes sense that for non-competitive games, you would give new players an opportunity to show what they can add to the team.
No, but okay. So I didn't watch the match. I don't know how it's going. I don't know.
No. The point is that non-competitive games are not. There's nothing really at stake except for national pride.
Don't
So
you think
there's no incentive, like strong incentive to win.
No, but
because a win doesn't really bring anything to
I know,
you.
but don't you think it also creates unity between
The fans and the players.
No, the main players and the new ones to play together and have that synergy in playing, don't you think?
It does, yeah, but we need to see results on the field too as well. So, I don't know, but see, we lost to South Korea. We beat them at the World Cup. We beat them when they mattered most in 2022, even though we will not progress. We lost in but the major talking point again is also about the quality of some players on the day. So, for example, Kwesi Sibo, who is in our shot right now, in the number 8 jersey, there were a lot of good reviews about him. There were good reviews about Caleb Yenchi, you know, and I think one striker who played up front for the team that day. So, some really great news. We wish them well. Of course, you are out of the AFCON, but next summer, the big thing is happening.
The Mondial.
Yeah, the beautiful game. Oh, we love it so much. Anyway, of course, some tweets are coming in, and Kinsley, or Kinjal Suraj, says, we they love Nigerians. I just hope we don't regret going to the World Cup. That's very true. MQ34425, that's his handle. He says, so you know they lose to common South Korea for football. It gives a very Nigerian taste to the tweet. Anyway, Jasmaniac also says 0 goals scored in 2 games with this. 3 shots on target in 3 games is worrying for Ghana, especially with the World Cup coming. Massive work needs to be done by you guys. Absolutely spot on. So, yeah, not too many people are excited with the kind of performance or the results on the day, but there's so much that needs to be done. And of course, it's important to add that a number of our key players were missing from these 2 games. So who knows if they were in, if Partey, Kudus, you know, Jordan, and the rest were in, but that probably been a different outcome. Anyway, we move from Ghana, we go to our very friendly neighbors, right? Not quite neighbors, but, you know, yeah,
Your
Nigeria.
twins.
You know,
Your unofficial twins.
Exactly.
So what's
Like
neighbor? We're not neighbors. We're twins. We're seventh twins, but
you sometimes
unofficially.
think that like we are border, you know, countries, right? But
Yeah.
like there are 2 whole countries in between us. But for some reason, it feels like we are just like next door.
Yeah.
Anyway,
so we are heading to Nigeria. Well, the trends about Nigeria this time around are not very exciting ones. They're not ones that we should be kicking about, like football or jollof rice. So let's start with Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj actually addressed the UN on genocides in Nigeria, and she was present at the UN, gathering yesterday, and she delivered a speech on genocides happening in Nigeria. But I don't know if we have comments on that. If we have comments on that, let's check out some of the comments. Funny enough, in that same Nigeria, our politicians and many crazy people say there is no genocide. And this is by Dubim. Jane is saying, thank you, Nicki Minaj. While our leaders are in denial of what is very obvious, you are helping us to use your platform and amplify the truth. Genocides of Christians is ongoing in Nigeria. And another one by Grace is saying, if Nigeria had the world's attention, the killings will stop. But silence protects the perpetrators. We are done being silent. Let us act now. And Amanda, that's Chimamanda 2022. When will our entertainment industry come out in and speak? Iya Bosa is saying, and someone in media in Nigeria says she's chasing cloud. God heal us and bestows us in census in Nigeria. And continuation on still in Nigeria, within the last 72 hours, Nigeria has been in the trends. And why has Nigeria been in the trends? I'm saying it's not about jollof rice this time. It's not about Afrobeats. It's not about AFCON. It's not about the World Cup. In the last 72 hours, There's been issues of terrorism and all that. On Monday, when we were here talking about the trends, that early morning we were here talking about the trends, 25 girls were actually kidnapped again at Kebbi State. So there's this issue of bring back our girls that we might just be going through again. ISWAP admitted and posted a video of, you know, a serving general being killed, and ISWAP is actually a terrorist group. So they killed a serving general in Nigeria. A priest and other community members were abducted in Kano State. And just yesterday, a church was attacked in Kwara State, and the church was robbed and people were also kidnapped.
Can you help us? Can you give us like a geolocation of a sort? Is Kwara in the north?
Yeah, Kwara is not actually in the north. Is like, I think it's a western state.
It's a western state.
Kwara is Yoruba, so it's a western state. Yeah.
So it's closer to the south than, the north.
Yeah, it's closer to the south actually.
So with these attacks, do you get the sense that, because we know that it was very predominantly
in the northern states,
do you get a sense that it's trickling further down south?
Well, it might just be trickling further down south right now. That is in Kwara State. Yeah.
But is this the one in Kwara State not like an outlier of a sort?
This is it. This is what happened yesterday. This is the one they attacked the churches.
Were there any injuries?
No, they robbed the church and they just kidnapped the people and took the people away.
Let's take a look.
5 people killed actually.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Heartbreaking. Let's take a look at this video and come back. Wow. So really shocking scenes. Really shocking scenes. I saw a tweet from, a very popular account on social media, of course, has extensive knowledge in all of these that's happening. The account appears to be a military account of a sort, calling on, of course, President Trump and Pete Hegseth. Now, Pete Hegseth is the U.S. Secretary of Defense, now Secretary of War, according to the Trump administration, saying that the Nigerian army is compromised and that an invasion should be without Nigeria. Of course, we've heard politicians from Nigeria say that there's more nuance to this than an attack, than a religious attack, right? And that it wasn't as straightforward as is reported. Other, foreign analysts are also skeptical about this whole use of religion as a means to invade Nigeria, because they're skeptical about the U.S. and what their interest really is. So I don't know, probably you need a lot more experts to speak on some of these things, but
there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on right now, and it's not funny, it's not exciting, it's not a happy moment, and something needs to be done about it. And so everybody's calling on the president to be proactive about these things, because his voice was very loud.
In opposition?
Yes, in opposition. That was the year there was bring back our girls.
Yeah.
You understand? That's when President Jonathan Goodluck Jonathan was in power. You understand? So his voice was very, very loud when that issue came up. So with this one, people are also expecting that his voice should be loud. But yesterday he came out, he spoke to the people and said that he has, asked the military to go out there and bring back the girls. 25 girls, they were in school, their principal was killed, I think another vice principal, their teacher was also killed, and all the girls taken away. And we all know what happened to the Chibok girls. They were married off. Some of them were married off. Some of them had to convert. Do you understand?
Under oppression.
Yes, under oppression. Some of them were impregnated. only 2 or 3. I feel like I think just a few, 2, 3. I think it's only 2 or 3 that I'm really keeping up with right now. One of them is in the States or in Canada or something like that. Do you understand?
Wow.
So,
I mean, you're not a security analyst, and you're not going to pretend to be one on the show. But do you get the sense that the Nigerian security or law enforcement, the police, the military, are on top of their game?
I think they are on top. The military, I would say, is on top of its game.
Really?
But it takes more to do their job. They need more support. I don't think they have everything that they need. That's
in terms of like resources, firepower.
Resources. I don't think they probably have everything that they need. And of course, like one of their brigadier general was killed, a big one for that matter, and how he was killed was so funny.
Let's read some.
And
comments.
these terrorists are on TikTok. Did I tell you they're on TikTok? People actually go on their live videos.
So
we can see their faces.
So even beyond like responding with like a security approach, like all of these communication, right? So like their data protection, for example, their communications ministry, as we would call it here, all of them need to be doing more to safeguard.
More, because the military is trying, but we need more.
Wow. So I am at Ifiku, I believe I got his handle right, says this is getting out of hand. God save Nigeria right now. Moving on, Symbol also with the handle Adesawa Haruna says, oh my God, I wouldn't have believed this incident if the video wasn't streamed live. This is what some Nigerians are actually facing. This doesn't even look like it's in the night. In broad daylight, this is so disastrous. And she tweets with heart-broken emojis and tears. Yeah. Wow, so not pleasant news. We are hoping for the best resolution going forward. We've heard from some people saying that there's more nuance to this, right? So we expect a lot more diplomacy so a proper resolution can be met on this issue. But let's take our video of the day. Hopefully this lightens the mood after a very dim conversation. Take a look at this.
I'll dip my head inside the whole bucket of water.
Yeah.
That would just solve the whole problem.
Yeah, I think it should count as a human rights violation. I don't know. Anyway, guys, that's a funny video for the week. But please don't go and try this. Don't go and do this to anybody. We beg you. You know, it's Chris. It's now time to move on, right?
Yes, it's time to move on.
We have an exciting conversation coming up. Why is it exciting? Because we are bringing you good news. The good news is your Christmas shopping just got better, right? And I'm referring to the AgriFair 2025 2.0. We'll be having an exciting conversation, all the insights and details you need on this and more coming up pretty shortly. But before I bring you the conversation, we want to just give you a feel of what to expect at AgriFair happening later this month.
This November, something amazing is coming to Accra. Are you a farmer with fresh produce? Are you into fish farming, poultry or livestock? Then get ready for the November edition of the AgriFair 2025. Yes, AgriFair 2025. It's happening on Friday the 28th to Sunday the 30th of November. It's happening at the A4 Southern Children's Park and it's 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day. It's the ultimate weekend marketplace. From fruits and vegetables to poultry, livestock and fish to agro-inputs and processing machinery. All at unbeatable farm gate prices. Whether you're selling or buying, this is your chance to connect, trade and grow. Enjoy the freshest farm produce, sizzling kebabs, and a vibrant marketplace atmosphere all in one space. Register now and secure your spot. Call 0558-973-973 for more information. AgriFair 2025, where culture meets innovation. The AgriFair 2025 is powered by Channel 1 TV and 97.3 City FM and is proudly sponsored by Horticulture Business Platform, Development Bank Ghana, Legacy Crop Improvement Center, Gressol, and the Ghana Exim Bank.
Welcome back. This is Breakfast Daily. My name is Jude Duncan. We move on to a very important conversation coming up. You just saw the video for yourself, and we're referring to the AgriFair 2.0. Joining me in studio, a regular on the show, you can say. David, it's always a pleasure having you.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
They say if it's good, you do it twice, right? Yeah. If it's good, you have to do it again.
If it's nice, you do it twice.
Absolutely. Yeah. So this is happening again on the 28th to the 30th. 3 days of intense shopping.
I tell you.
And sales.
I'm telling you. It's going to be fantastic. It's really going to be fantastic.
Wow.
Yeah.
What should we expect, right? Of course, a lot of people patronized the very first edition we did. Knowing how we do things here, the experience is always different, right?
Yeah.
So maybe give us a sneak peek into what we should expect for AgriFair 2.0.
Okay, so just for the benefit of those who haven't been part of the conversations that we've been having and haven't benefited from hearing what AgriFair is about. Basically, we're looking at from the farm gate to your plate.
Yeah.
All right. We are bringing you fresh produce. Everything is fresh. Everything is organic. We're bringing it straight to you, unprocessed. Okay. And the idea of this, compared to our other events that we have, which are also like food events, is to give us the market experience. That whole vibe of I've gone to the market myself. I'm touching the tubers, I'm touching the greens, I'm touching, and I'm taking the live, organic, fresh produce. And that experience, that energy, that vibe is what we are bringing you. So the market experience, bringing you fresh produce and all of that. That's what we're doing with AgriFair. Now this one, as you said, 2.0, this is, I like to call it the Christmas edition of AgriFair because we're basically shopping for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right, we're basically shopping for Christmas. Getting all the Ghana rice that we want, the sweet potatoes we're looking for, the contombre that we want, the broadier that we're looking for, and all of that. If it's chicken, there's chicken. If there's goat, it's goat. There's pig. Whatever you want, it's all there, fresh and organic.
And it's important to emphasize that this is for locally produced food stuff.
Absolutely.
Nothing like bringing in imported.
No, not at all. Because again, this is also to help drive the business side of things, right? Because if the consumer, who's the one that's doing the purchasing, we increase the number of consumers and we increase their taste and their palate, their desire for locally produced goods, it's only better for our farmers and therefore for our economy, right? And so this is the bit we can do as a media house to help what the government is doing and help where the nation needs to go. So
Wow, exciting. I had a friend tell me that with everything CTFM and Channel 1, come up with, you see some replication of the sort by some other people, Charlie, doing their own thing. Also, so for example, you start like Situation, all white. You see happening elsewhere.
And some people start doing all white.
They start doing that. You see City Business Olympics. Then they are doing something invitational. Just like chaka. But for some reason, right, we saw AgriFair happen. It's not been replicated.
Well, I think
we
other
say
people
it's
are
because
doing...
of the logistics or the complex nature of it, or it's just, I don't know, put together for us?
Logistically, it's not a small feat to pull off an event like that with the numbers that we're talking about, because you have in excess of 100 vendors.
Yeah.
You know, even the first one we had in excess of 100 vendors already,
and
you know,
thousands of patrons.
Yes, you know, so it's not. It can be a logistical nightmare if you're not sure what you're doing. But by the grace of God, we are reasonably experienced at handling fairs and events and outdoor programs. You know, even This Is Ghana, for example, we've been pulling off This Is Ghana for 10 years. You know, so there's a lot of experience that has come from that.
Yeah.
So even though this is the second time we're doing Agri-Fair, based on our vast experience from other events, okay, we're bringing all that to play. And the first time we did Agri-Fair in June was a smashing success. So already, I mean, we know if
there's history to this.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, and this is for Christmas, so
this is
the
for
expectation
Christmas.
is even higher.
Yes.
Wow. Beyond shoppers coming to, you know, make a field day for themselves in terms of buying and getting ready for the festive season, we also are being told, I've seen us advertise some clinics that will be happening.
Yes.
You know, what was the purpose or the motive behind this?
Okay, so, you know, there's fresh produce you can buy. We're asking the question, why not help people grow their own at home, right? Or on their own farm, or on their own space, right?
Yeah.
Remember that back in the 70s and 80s, there was something we called Operation Feed Yourself, where the government was very deliberate and intentional about encouraging smallholder businesses to do farming at home, you know, and on a much smaller scale, not necessarily a commercial scale, right? I'll give you an example. When I was growing up, my parents had a poultry farm at home. And this came off the back of Operation Feed Yourself, right? We actually had a poultry farm in the house, you know. And even though it was in the house, we had 5,000 birds in the house, you know. So there was that. Then I remember also many of our family friends, when we visit them, there's a fish pond.
True.
So one of the things that my parents were always very cautious about was when we were going to a particular friend's house, they also want to make sure that if there's a fish pond, we are aware of it, you know, so that the children, when they are playing outside, nobody goes to fall by accident.
We had
into
a
pond.
crab, you know, rearing area.
Okay, yeah. So there's been a lot of that historically. We're saying that if we bring this back and encourage households to be interested, number one, and then also to practically do it for themselves. Not only do we help people to cut down their expenditure per month, because if you're producing it yourself at home, it's considerably cheaper to do, you know. So then it also helps the economy as well.
Absolutely. David, in 30 seconds, right, what would you say is the value proposition for the Agri-Fair, right? So why should I come there, not to Makola? Already, my mom went to Makola. I said, prices are coming out. So why Agri-Fair and not Kanishi or Makola or Kaishi or wherever else?
Because, you know, there are some markets, for example, you say, oh, there's fish market, you know, or there's a crab market, there's onion market. This one, everything one-stop shop. One-stop shop. Everything is there.
Absolutely.
Everything is there.
Amazing.
From rabbits to poultry to goats, pigs, all of that, you know. And then, of course, with the clinics, we are doing snail farming, fish farming, poultry farming, and piggery. These are the 4 categories that will be training in. Of course, this is in conjunction with CSIR. So they are bringing their expertise on board. So it's not hit and miss. No.
My friend texted me right now and said, can they get ostrich egg at Agri-Fair?
Why not?
Wow.
You know,
interesting.
Look, listen. National Service Farms are coming. They were there the last time. They're coming again. The prisons farms are coming. And all of these people, they have a whole plethora of livestock and birds and everything that they produce. So you'll be very surprised when you get there what they have available.
Right, David Kweku Sechi, thank you so much for your time this morning and for the insights. Of course,
you're most welcome.
To our amazing sponsors, for the remarkable show of solidarity and support, helping us through all of this. Some of them been with us from phase 1, right? So, of course, we have IDH, we have the Horticulture Business Platform, Development Bank, Ghana Legacy Crop International, Gesal, Ghana Exim Bank, and Agri Impact Limited. Thank you so much for the support. We'll take a quick break. When we're back, there's a lot more conversation right here on Breakfast Daily. Don't go away.
Well, hello and welcome to Entertainment Highlights on Breakfast Daily. My name is Ni Komete Kome, and this is proudly powered by GhanaWeekend.com. Now let's get into our first highlight. Our rapper Edem says he is disappointed that attempts to enroll Agbeko in a professional rehabilitation have failed, despite multiple consultations and support efforts. Agbeko, famous for Wototome, has openly spoken about his struggles with drug addiction, saying it left him homeless, broke, and suffering significant memory loss. In an interview last month, he explained that addiction consumed his income and dignity and traced his introduction to drugs to a female friend. Now that was a sad one. Now to our next highlight. Tourism Minister Honorable Abla-Jifa Gumashi has called on African nations to take control of how their heritage stories are told, saying external narratives have long distorted the continent's image. Speaking at the workshop in Accra, she urged strategic storytelling that strengthens global perception and boosts pride among young people. She cited a proverb, and I quote, "Until the lion learns to write," end quote, to emphasize the need for Africans to shape their own narratives. The event aligns with UNESCO Culture 2030 goals and aims to improve heritage interpretation, tourism, and community development.
We therefore recognize that our stories around these heritage assets must be told in a strategic way to shape how the world perceives Africa and how our young generation values their origin. We must be in charge of the narrative of our story. Again, our forebears say, until the lion learns to write, the story will always glorify the hunter. We must be in charge of our own narrative.
Now, still staying on tourism, the Ghana Tourism Authority CEO Mami Efua Jeto says the country's tourism sector is being transformed through digital innovation and enhanced customer service. Speaking at the 2025 National Tourism Awards, she highlighted initiatives including the Ghana Tourism Information System, Experience Ghana app, and Virtual Ghana VR platform. Emphasizing service excellence, she announced nationwide training programs and an international partnership with the Rutgers University. The event also honored Ghanaian icons in music, theater, film, and education for their contributions to culture and tourism. Now let's get into Channel 1 TV's Top 10 Countdown.
Number 10. Number 9.
Plenty problems, but you come. Penny pressure on the chair, me quiet.
Number 8.
Be Jota with the show working every dance they come till eternity.
Number 7.
Phone it at DND. Yeah, can guy PMP. We can go city for city. That let's go dollar for dollar. We go pull up in a Lamborghini.
Number
the one
6.
Talk about the purple. This guy you see pass, be careful. Matic, you know we no fear devil. And a singing motto no be no trouble. What God no fi do no they exist.
Number 5.
Plenty things I am go. Now so ya know.
Number 4. Number 3.
Celebrate, I've been around, I'll be the one come take, I do the
Number
ones
2.
Ibinability, oh, Abla Boyoko, Jerry Akamenko, and Yibi and Yanko. I'm watching your bicycle about you, so paddle no one so in Jimia, face day.
Number 1. This is the Channel 1 Countdown.
And that's all for today's entertainment highlights on Breakfast Daily. Stay tuned for more exclusive stories, interviews, and viral moments from Ghana's vibrant entertainment scene. Visit GhanaWeekend.com and follow Ghana Weekend on Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, and Facebook for your daily dose of showbiz buzz, music updates, and the behind-the-scenes action. Don't just read it, live it, share it, and stay plugged in. This was presented by Ni Komite Kome.
All right, welcome back. It's still Breakfast Daily right here, and that was our entertainment highlight brought to you by GhanaWeekend.com. What was your best song?
Probably have to be Street Crown.
Street Crown.
Yeah, he sang it and he lived it.
Yeah. The brick by brick, right?
You won't get me. What you want to hear? What you want to hear? To come out from my mouth.
I love it, but I love the song. I love the song too. Anyway, now it's time for us to get into a very interesting conversation. And you know, here in Channel 1, apart from telling you stories, we also love to entertain you.
Absolutely.
We also love to keep you glued to your seat. We're bringing more exciting things to your screens, and Apioko is here to tell us all about it. She's our head of program production right here on Channel 1 TV. The lady with the red hair, Madam Apioko. I just called this for you.
You almost made it, Chris. Good morning.
Madam Apioko.
Why not?
That's what her students used to call her.
Yeah, but that's what it is.
Forever.
She
embodies it. See, Chris encountered this once and she won't let it go.
Go. To where?
Madam Apioko. Actually, the sound of it sounds nice. You know, yeah, Madam Api. No, Madam Apioko.
And then imagine her with that her red glasses that has like, you know, this thing like this.
Oh my goodness.
I thought one day we should have you on the personality profile show.
Yeah.
You know, quite a story, right?
You know?
I have no words for you people.
You know, quite a story.
No words for you people.
Api, you're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning.
It feels good to be here.
I know. So a little birdie told me that, you know, there's more excitement coming to our screens. Can you tell us about it?
You just spoke about telling stories.
Yes.
Minister for Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts just spoke about telling our own stories.
Sure.
And you know, the Channel 1 tagline, Channel 1 TV tagline is telling your story, empowering change, right? And that statement is very powerful, where there's telling your story so that we expose what's going on in our communities, like we saw this morning with all that filth that people are living with, no toilets in people's homes. We've seen it throughout the morning, right? But then there's also telling the story of identity. And when we know who we are and we hold it with all the pride in our hearts, then we can do great things for ourselves and for our nation, right? I know I'm sounding very philosophical, but that's the ethos of why we're doing what I'm about to talk about. We are, as Channel 1 TV, embarking on a journey where we're going to be doing a lot of local content production. So I'm talking TV drama series and things like that. It wouldn't be our first time doing it.
Right.
In 2022, we released something called The Hairdressers. Remember that?
Yeah.
So we did a season of this TV sitcom, which was filmed in the heart of Accra and tells a story, and indeed the stories of people who pass through your typical salon in this country. So all the things that some people go there for therapy. You know, I'm coming to say my story. I'm not ready to talk to. I'm coming to tell my story. Some people go there and pose. Like we have Honorable's wife owing everybody, including the salon. You have people who go there. They're sending their side chicks there. You know, you have students who go there trying to reinvent themselves with the way they look, their hair, their nails. You know, they're going out on their first date. So there are different things that happen in our society that, you know, on a normal day you can brush off. But when you bring it to the screen, we bring it to film, it gets us to interact with those things about ourselves. And indeed, we can ask ourselves questions. Do we even like who we look like or who we are? What this is showing us. If we don't, how can we change it? If we do, how can we amplify it? And so storytelling is very important. Now, we'll be doing a lot of that. But however, it's not just about what we are producing in-house. And that's the exciting thing. Have you heard of the GH Media Schools? Or the GH schools. So they've got different schools. They have the GH Media School. In fact, we have people here who pass through those halls.
It's GH
schools. Yes, they have a fashion school. They've got lots of different things in there, right? And so the GH Media School in particular, well, we realized by some stroke of, I don't know what to call it, luck or you know, fate, we realized that the students actually producing TV series as part of their project work, but these series are actually really good. And when you watch them, they're telling stories that are, yes, very Ghanaian, but from their own perspective. These are young people in their 20s. And we're missing that voice. Yes, you can go to TikTok and YouTube and all that, but many of these people have the, you know, they have the dream of becoming the next big thing in filmmaking in Ghana, in TV production in Ghana, but they don't have platforms. And so we said, let's partner with them. And then we can air some of these, since we ourselves are moving in that direction of producing and then also promoting locally bred content. And it goes back to the general ethos of what we do here at Channel 1 TV and City FM. We've spoken about the Agri-Fair, promoting our farmers, connecting the farm gate to the consumer, building the value chain. In the spirit of impact media, also, if we have young people, and the statistics from the World Bank, UNESCO, even our own CDD and Afrobarometer tell us that many of our young people are in the creative industries.
The orange economy.
The orange economy. And they are the bulk of the population. Now, if you have the bulk of your population being young and they are in the orange economy, which jobs are we creating for them? Where's the value chain? Otherwise, you have young people who will go, and we've seen it happen even in our time and before us. People go into jobs that they are not really passionate about, and they will be in the same position for 30 years and no growth. And you say they are lazy and they are not motivated, but it's because they never had their passion sparked. So these are some of the things we've been thinking about. We'll be premiering one of these series tonight, Junction 5, at 7:30 p.m. here on Channel 1 TV. And Junction 5 is interesting. So it tells a story of, you know, in Ghana, we've got the spots, we've got the pubs, and then we have the joints. This one is a pub, so it's senior to all of them. So Junction 5 is this, you know, there's an eatery there as well, so people go there during the day to grab a bite. And all the different kinds of people who come there, you know, you can imagine are there. Your people with the four-wheel drives, the V8s, they also drive in, you know, students pass through. But it also talks a lot about how Ghanaian businesses and people who work in them behave when their owners are not around.
Customer service.
Customer service, poor, stealing items from the fridge, from the pantry, inviting people who don't mean well for the business into the space, security men doing kululu. These things happen in our community.
And how they behave around rich men.
I'm telling you. And this is interesting because
if you drive a V8,
the
approach is different.
You at a certain place.
If you drive what some of us
Director.
Thank
you. You see, all these things.
You become
I'm telling you, and it's interesting because these are people in their 20s, young 20s, early 20s, and this is what we are showing them, and they are telling you through their films. So this is the kind of thing we're talking about. That's Junction 5. Then tomorrow evening, the 20th of November, still 7:30 p.m., we'll be premiering another one called So-So. So you know how when somebody asks you, how are you doing? So-So. How's it going? So-So. How's business? How's life? So-So. So that's the idea behind So-So. Now, a lot of the action happens around this young lady who is in the university, very brilliant, very well behaved, has done everything right, but she's growing. She wants to date. She wants to explore the world. She wants to go to the parties. She wants to hang out. She's being raised by her grandmother, which is also a reality that many
in a lot of homes.
Homes in Ghana, Africa, even beyond, where for some reason your parents are not the ones you live with. It could be financial reasons. It could be that they are just not in the space where they need to be to take care of you. It could be that they've abandoned you. It could be that they've passed away. There's so many reasons. Sometimes the grandparents will go and take the child and say, I'm not raising them right.
Because I know you.
Let me raise my granddaughter.
Yeah.
So you have this situation.
Yeah.
And this young lady, through her, you experience her friends, the dadabis that she hangs out with, they too, and their complexities. The more privileged in society, how their parents have raised them a certain way, but they also want to belong. So peer pressure and what that means, and then also some of them working to take care of themselves and their families, even though they are students. Also a big reality.
Like that,
They're not allowed to be young. And so they act out in interesting ways to just get catharsis for the challenges that they are facing in life. So again, told from the perspective of young people. But I bet you a family can watch this, learn a lot. It gets us to question the things that we are doing to our young people as a society. We want them to be responsible, but are we creating the platform for that responsibility to take shape?
It's a very important point to make around, people and how they ready themselves for the kind of life that they want. At the University of Ghana, so many of them, right? Like working and schooling at a very young age.
Very young age.
But I wanted to find out from you, is there a parental guidance, restrictions?
So the ones that need it will have it, but these are family viewing.
Okay.
There are things that, in fact, I would like that if you couldn't speak to your child about certain things, about
you get
how
them to watch these things.
And that's the power of storytelling, of film, of the media. Thank you, Chris. Of art, where sometimes things that you don't even know how to
even go about it, because you were not taught at home. And you are still navigating yourself as a parent.
And I remember when I was growing up, we'd be sitting down and they are watching. I even do it with my kids to some extent. So I'll give you an example. There was a day, I think it was the Styrofoam project, and my children had asked for some things, and we said we wouldn't get it for them, and they were upset. So now we showed them what we're doing with the Styrofoam project. We said, do you see? Their parents are not with them. There's an institution that has taken them in, is taking care of them. They were so sad. But it got them thinking. So now, when they want something, and you tell them, no, then, okay, not now, later, right? We have to budget for it, right?
Understand.
Because they saw something in the media, they heard a conversation, and it made it real for them, seeing their age mates, in some case, going through something that they were not going through. They realized they had it better. And that's the power of what we have and what we're doing.
Right. Well, Abby, you actually just came back from MIPCOM.
Yes.
Yeah, that was like a month ago. And obviously it's about film, storytelling and all that. How important is the African story telling to the world right now?
Look, I'll tell you something. The whole world wants African stories. When I went to MIPCOM, and thank you for raising this, so MIPCOM is the biggest content market in the world. You had Warner Brothers there, Paramount was there, YouTube was in the chat.
Everybody was there.
Because now we're also talking about digital platforms and whatnot.
And our movies are there.
Our movies are there. Now, we didn't have a consolidated African front present. The Middle East was there. Asia was there, and the different parts of Asia. The Indians were there, the Chinese were there, the Japanese were there. And while they set up their stalls, they're not just selling content. They're giving you Japanese whiskey to taste. They're giving
That's the culture.
Yes. In fact, at the Japanese stand, I still have it. I'll bring it and show it to you. They had some chocolate so they served chocolate with their whiskey and their brown liquor. Now, the chocolate is branded Ghana. And they were telling people that this chocolate is from Ghana.
You don't mean it.
I'm telling you.
At the Japanese stand.
At the Japanese stand. So when I got there.
So they even extended beyond their borders.
Look.
Telling people about other stories.
Yes, premium
That's a
cocoa.
prepared country.
Premium cocoa is used to produce this chocolate that you're tasting. That goes with premium liquor.
So basically they're telling you we can get something from your country
understand?
and then make it into
So now when I went there and I saw I'm from Ghana, then there was a whole lot of excitement because the people there had actually never met anyone from Ghana. But they've been eating Ghana cocoa and Ghana chocolate. Wow. So it started a whole conversation. The Turks were there. They were in France, so the French themselves were there. But bottom line, everybody wanted to have a meeting with me.
Yeah.
Because they heard that there's this chick with red hair who has come from Ghana, has come from Africa, and they really revere Ghana. And many of them had heard about Channel 1 TV. Mind you, they would have done their research before we got there. And the way it is you try to prep your meetings ahead of time via an email or WhatsApp, you know, so when you go into a particular day, you have meetings that you're having. Everybody wanted to meet this human being from Ghana because they want to enter Africa. They want to do telling of stories, but they don't even know where to begin.
But as a block, right? Do you get a sense that you are prepared, right? So, for example, I'm sure the K-pop K-drama, right? It's so big now. Of course, you mentioned
They even brought some of their stars there.
Look at that.
Yeah, and there were evening parties with their K-pop stars.
You don't mean it.
I'm telling you, photo ops.
Did we have Gollywood there?
No. That's what I'm saying, that even Nollywood was not there.
Yeah.
Even South Africa was not there.
So
even Kenya was not there.
That's serious.
You see maybe one or two, you know, the Chris's Niger brothers, they've come, Charlie.
You want to show presence.
They come with like some one package B and then they're trying to sell it. But as a block, no, we were not there.
And they're doing so much within the space.
I'm telling you.
You know, it's sad. Like, stories like this depress me. I don't even lie.
But you see, it goes back to policy. One of the, Middle East was there, Abu Dhabi. They are inviting people to come and shoot. If you come and shoot in our country, depending on the parameters, you get anywywhere between a 35 and 45% rebate.
Look at that.
Yes, so if you show certain,
because it's
parts
like tourism.
Exactly. So if you show our heritage buildings, if you involve our camera crew,
cars that
you involve
are
our
made from
actors, there you go. So depending on what it is,
because sometimes you watch a movie, they show you a certain scene, you're like,
Shouldn't
this scene there.
Thank you very much.
You know, there's no basis whatsoever for the scene.
Yeah.
Or like a car brand or something. Wow.
And even Abu Dhabi, so you got to their stand, they're offering you dates. And they package the dates like how we would package chocolate because that's their sweet.
That's the hub,
So, but this is what storytelling does. The economy that builds around storytelling. And I'm using the word storytelling very lightly because we're talking about TV series, but there's feature-length films. Now you've got digital films and digital series as well, what they call the verticals, right? 2 minutes episodes and, you know, all these different things. We're not doing anything with it.
I'm really touched about this, your conference experience, because it's such a missed opportunity.
But we will show
We'll
up.
catch up, you sure?
Africa will catch up.
Are you optimistic?
No, I am very optimistic.
I am optimistic.
I'm not.
I'm optimistic because we're sitting here having a conversation about showing tertiary students drama series on Channel 1 TV. Do you realize that we're one of the biggest broadcasters in the country?
Absolutely.
You go to City FM, we just won Best English Speaking Station, radio station in the country at the GGA Awards. So we're a huge platform to contend with in private media, and we're talking about showcasing the work of students. This wouldn't have happened 10 years ago.
So it's a good start.
It is a great start.
Wow. Again, just for my curiosity, did North Africans represent there?
So I'm telling you, Africa in general, we were not there. Africa did north, south, east, west, horn. We were not in the mix. So you just had, like you see, individual brilliance. Somebody who really wants to push something. No, they were not there.
Wow.
We're not there. And even the Africans who were present, there are so many different clinics. They were not showing up to the thing.
Yeah, Charlie, anyway, happy.
But I'm saying that we will get there because where we are now is definitely not where we were 10 years ago.
So we need to also appreciate where we've come from.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely interesting. Absolutely. Happy. Any final takes on this? So Junction 5 is showing starting
tonight.
Tonight.
So it's tomorrow. 7:30 p.m. So it's tomorrow, 7:30 p.m.
Do you know how long it will run for?
Oh yeah, so we've got seasons, some of the different, and it's not just these. So in the next few months, over the next year, you'll see several things rolling out. Yeah. This is just a start, but we want to encourage people to tune in
and watch
as well.
Wow, it'll be interesting to get some of the cast to speak to them on their thinking.
That can be arranged
and everything. So I'm so grateful for your time this morning and for the positive boost that it will get better. I wasn't particularly optimistic,
No.
But it's like
if you're not optimistic,
you've
then
given
you
me
be
some
here.
vim.
No,
Yeah,
Jude,
because like
Jude, speaking about storytelling, you know I'm a poet, right?
Yeah.
Some years ago, we find poets on big national platforms.
Exactly.
We're growing.
Yeah. And I think we're telling stories in different ways.
We're growing.
Yeah.
Dancers. Yesterday, we saw the BOG. It was yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was
the
yesterday.
BOG event. There was a dance story being told. So we are beginning to understand our place, one, as Africans in this mix. But don't forget that traditionally we are storytellers.
Yeah.
I keep saying that I fell in love with literature and post-colonial literature for that matter because I realized that I was never going to get our economic history, our social-political history in some history book. It's in the literature.
Wow. Happy. Credits to you and the other amazing guys, right? Quite a number of them come to mind, of course. I've forgotten. Chief Mumin is there.
Chief is there.
Your favorite
Nana Sase.
He was the name I actually wanted to mention. Quite a number of them doing very well in the space.
In theatre, we've got, we knew Uncle Abuai for a long time. Now Fifi Coleman has come in, George Quay and National Call. All of these people are in the mix.
But eventually we need that push from Mr. Government, right?
Oh, and I think
from a policy
it will come. Because the other thing too is that now we have more creatives getting involved in the policy conversations.
Right.
So for example, we're advocating for proper tax systems, so that you don't just come and show up at the situation, outdoor party, and you're collecting money from us at the gates. There must be structure and understanding what these things mean.
If we let you go, we will start chopping bullets. Olivia, but I'm so grateful for your time and for your insights. I keep saying it, but this is it. This is it.
This is it. But anyway, it has been a great show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I hope you enjoyed it as much as we enjoyed it. We want to say thank you for staying in tune with us, and we really, hope to see you tomorrow. Actually, at 7:00 a.m.
Yeah.
And Nana Tufo started the show, and right now we have to go.
All right, take care and bye-bye.
Bye.